Welcome back, everyone, to another session of Crituitous RP. Sorry, I heard myself again.
Are we waiting for a cheer?
Sorry. No, it's I keep forgetting to mute Twitch. Anyways, so thank you everyone for joining us today. We've got a fun little session ahead of us, right? Yes. So before we get into the
I
actual,
don't know what that means. That the DM says we're gonna have fun.
A fun session in a campaign that's made to kill all of the characters. That really bodes well.
And I've only got one of you, so let's charge on ahead. Quick announcements. We would like to thank our latest followers. We thank you for joining our little crew. That is Kawali, Copic Doll, Rusio, Rickard's 0210, Rainbows for Breakfast, J-Rock 7485, Melindra, LC3M4N83, IX Calamitil, Irrational_Radio, and Revel Badger. Thank you very much, everyone, for following us, and thank you to One in Range for subscribing to us yesterday. We appreciate all of the help. Share us with your friends. Have them follow us as well. You can follow us on Twitter. We are at Crituitous RP. And let's jump into the adventure today. So, previously on Crituitous RP, the party has had a little bit of a problem with a bit of jewelry that's been with the party for a couple of days now. Way back when our adventurers first entered the city of Mesro, they met this man named Artus Simba. He had with him a legendary cursed ring. The ring has some impressive powers, very impressive powers, but also comes with a heavy burden. Now, Artus did well at stemming the tide of that burden. The ring tried to put its feelers out and corrupt people as much as it could. But eventually, Artus fell in battle, and the ring fell upon Carmen. It influenced her to such a degree that tensions began to divide the party. Carmen's very actions were being controlled and manipulated to force issues between the party members. Thankfully, in the heat of battle, last session, Averine managed to dispel the curse that was on Carmen, thus releasing her from the hold of the ring. It was after they had faced off with a rather big, rather well-known monstrosity within the jungles of Cholt, the King of Feathers. At the end of that, Shargo was just above himself, excited, because the last time he encountered this dinosaur, it ate the entire party he was guiding. But this time, they managed to slay it. And so he was happy. There's a little bit of release from the ring no longer affecting Carmen. The ring is currently in Averine's pocket, I believe. Or a little bag, something like that. And we will rejoin the adventure where we left off in the jungle. I'll move us to the player's map of Cholt, just so that we can be reminded of how far away we are. The current goal is to get to Omu. The party have reason to believe the Soulmonger is somewhere in Omu, and that the secret to getting to it lies with the legend of the 9 gods. And so, what do you guys want to do? Take it away.
Well, before we get started on our trek for the day, is everyone in the vicinity?
So?
Yeah, I will have landed from my panic-induced flight to rejoin the group.
For those who sign up to see the ongoing weekly written RP, which you can get if you sign up for the special tier, the party had some separation and some things their own way, but so we all came back together, I guess.
Tension and drama and character stuff.
And how, if I wanted to read that during the week, how would I get it again?
You can either catch up on our Tumblr at crituitousrp.tumblr.com, or you can pledge and support us via Patreon at patreon.com/tearvent. Thank you for the plug, Matthew.
All right.
Shameless plug.
That was worse than mine.
Shameless. But we appreciate it.
Carmen,
Hi.
I'd like to discuss the future of the ring with the party, but I don't want the ring to hear us discussing it. I know that you have that spell that can create silence.
Yes, I do.
Would you mind casting it? And I will hold the bag in the area so that it cannot hear us.
I can do if that will mechanically speaking work.
Yeah.
If I cast it and you stand on the edge, that's fine. Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, so I'll
As far as you believe, it should work.
start making noise. I'll go and then when I no longer hear myself, I stop. I take a step back and I put the bag in there and I say, "Okay."
Temperature drops again. The ring is not happy.
All right. This will make my arm tired, so I'm going to have a seat right here and just put my arm on the ground. If all of you wouldn't mind gathering around, I have some things to talk about with you regarding the ring.
We could also just give it to Goldblum and have him sit in the area. But whatever.
Give it to Goldblum. Give it to Goldblum.
All right. The ring is in the room, this area of silence, and we can discuss freely our plans and what to do with it. I can tell you that the ring seems to reach out even to people who aren't wearing it when we're asleep. And as far as I can tell, it tried to resist me when I took possession of it from Carmen. Carmen, do you remember when you took possession of the ring from Artis? Did it also try to exert its will upon you?
It did, but I managed to. It did. It tried to, but I was okay. So that's why I popped it on my necklace. I didn't want to put it on my finger. I think it wanted me to put it on my finger. So.
Very well. Then we can also deduce that changing ownership of the ring causes it to reach out. So I think we should try to minimize changing ownership of the ring. And the practice of raising the hut seems to be a good idea to separate the ring from the rest of us. So what I'd like to propose is that every night when we set up camp, is that we all be present, but then I spend the evening outside of the hut. That way no one can be affected by the ring but myself. I'll set up an alarm the way I usually do, and that will tell me if anyone comes close. And even if somehow one of you were under the effect of the curse, it would also alert me to your presence as well. But yes, if we can ensure that everyone is in the hut, then we will confirm that no one else can be affected by the ring while we sleep. And if we don't change ownership of the ring, then we can confirm no one else will be tempted to grab it or be tempted by it. Every morning when I wake up, I can cast the curse removal spell on myself in case the ring had any effect on me the previous evening. And just I've always been told that I'm a very willful woman. By insecure men, it turns out more often than not. But perhaps this will aid me in the times to come. I also have an extra measure of protection from my familiar, who grants me some extra resistance to magical effects. I'm also just lucky, it turns out, from time to time. So I think I have a good chance of resisting the ring from now until whenever we're concluded with our business in Schult. But what I would like to propose is that in order to minimize the risk further, is I will make a deal with the ring. That I will offer to the ring to find a worthy carrier after our business is conducted in Schult. And in exchange, it will stop trying to affect other creatures. But of course, there has to be consequences if the ring either doesn't agree or breaks the contract. And I would like to hear from you all what you'd think, that a way that you can hide the ring, that no one will ever find it. Because I imagine this would be the most frightening thing for the ring. That if it could never find a wielder, that it would, aside from destruction, just sitting inert forever would be the second worst punishment. Does anyone have ideas?
I see your plan is well thought out, but I see two very large problems. If you hold the ring and succumb, you're the only person who has the magics to dispel the grasp of this ring on another. So by having you be the only person able to do that, but then also its carrier, should you succumb, should the ring get its hooks into you, you could, for all intents and purposes, put on a pretty face. You could feign doing the spell. There's no way for us to know. I worry that you holding it means that should you fail, there is no possibility of bringing you back from its control, as we were able to do with Carmen. A. Number two, if the question is making a deal with the ring, not that you're not a willful woman, but there are others in this group perhaps more suited for that kind of thing.
Well, to respond to your first concern, I can create a scroll that would allow someone else, perhaps, to cast the Remove Curse spell. It is not an easy spell to cast for those not trained, so it might take some luck or favor from the gods in order to see it come to pass. But if that is your concern, I can create the scroll. It will cost some resources that I would normally use for copying another spell into my book. But if it is a grave concern of yours, we can just divert those resources into this failsafe.
Or alternatively, someone else could hold and attune to the ring, and we can select whom that would be, Zola or Pijo or Tower. That way we reserve our resources but still protect you from its corrupting influence.
I believe holding or attuning to the ring would be the worst possible scenario. As we know, the ring seeks to destroy everyone around the wearer of the ring. So if it's all the same to you, I'll hold on to the ring and not attune to it and not allow anyone else to attune to it. For I value my own life and the lives of the folks with us.
Perhaps we are getting ahead of ourselves. Carmen.
Hi.
We saw what happened, but what happened? What did you feel? How perhaps it would be good to hear your experience.
Well, it depends if you guys want to listen to my experience on it or not, but if you're willing to, then I personally had no feelings of hurting anyone in the group. So the whole reaction was to protect myself, and every action that happened was out of protection and to try and defeat, this big beastie. So I don't feel it necessarily wants to hurt everybody, but saying that, it's haunted. In my eyes, it was artists being quite nasty and haunting it, but that might be because it was just me, and that's how it spoke to me. I I think if somebody can control it and somebody's got the ability to control it, I don't think it's going to necessarily just try and kill everyone down. And I had a few dreams and I had a few restless nights before that happened. So I wouldn't, it depends on what everyone's dreaming, it depends if it's affecting people. I don't think it's necessarily going to be doom if somebody can control it.
This ring would not wish to destroy all of us in such a remote location. It is like a virus. It needs to spread. If it kills all of us, it cannot do this.
You're muted.
It would seek to kill everyone but the wearer. The wearer of the ring would be the one who would then go on to spread more chaos. At least that is my understanding of its nature.
It could, if I had it longer, that could have been the case. But it was just everything it felt to me. It was just a reaction of defense, and it was trying to attack, the beast that we had disturbed. So it could go either way. I'm not standing on either side of this argument. But I didn't have any vision or any whisper for me to kill any of you. I didn't go at any of you with any knives or anything. It wasn't like that for me.
So while it's certainly dangerous, a powerful instrumentality that should be guarded carefully, it's not willy-nilly destructive if any of us wind up enthralled to it.
Well, I did have to dispel a sleet storm that occurred outside of the threat of any other foes. So the idea that the ring would not seek to harm the folks who aren't wearing it seems countered by the evidence to the contrary.
That particular spell is not exactly harmful. It just slows the people down inside of it. It felt to me like it was trying to contain Carmen rather than us. Did it speak to you at this time?
We had a chat. We had a bit of a chat. It wasn't very nice, to be honest. And I was very grateful, Anne-Marie, that you came in and saved me the way you did. And I appreciate that. It's not a safe item to have with us. I mean, what's the plan with it? Are we going to, wherever it goes, be it with Averine, you keep it in your bag, be it if Grigori decides actually it's a way of stopping him being scried on, whichever way we go with it, what is the plan with it? Do we need to keep hold of it for too long, or what's the ultimate plan with it?
I think there are two phases of the ring ownership, and that is the
Don't do this. Keep it in the.
I am taunting you, and I put it back.
I thought you were going to ask you about it then.
Two phases of the ring ownership, and that is before we destroy the Soulmonger and after we destroy the Soulmonger. I am happy to leave the question of what happens after the Soulmonger unanswered for now. I think our priority should be the destruction of the Soulmonger, and anything that would divert us from that we should try to avoid at all costs. So while I would like to just take a quick jaunt and see if I can find someone who will send us to the Archfey who could possibly destroy the ring, I don't have time for that at the present. So I would like to just have a temporary truce with the ring until then.
How long will it take you to craft a scroll?
I did not look up the rules for crafting a scroll ahead of this conversation, so I cannot tell you off the top of my head.
It depends on the level of the spell that you are crafting. Remove Curse, specifically being a 3rd level spell, means it will take you a full work week. That is 5 8-hour days. And it'll take up 500 gold worth of material components per Remove Curse spell. And if you want to be able to cast Remove Curse on a scroll for someone else every day, that's expensive.
Is there a wand option, maybe?
Crafting a wand,
Mechanically speaking.
remove curse will be even longer.
Is it? I'm trying to remember the rules of crafting magic items, and I was thinking that a one-shot item costs less than an item that could be used over and over. Is the 500
Yes.
the reduced cost, or?
It is 5. The costs that I'm taking are taken from Xanathar's Guide to Everything. Check it out. Available. It has a table that compares the level of the spell with the amount of time it'll take to be able to craft and the cost.
That still leaves us in the uncomfortable situation should you, Averine, become subjected to the influence of the ring, that there's no way to save you.
It's true, but I feel I am best equipped, given my extra resistance from my familiar and not my natural good fortune.
Oh, but
I'll just take the ring.
In that regard, I think the group can decide. If you want to hold it, Averine, that's fine. But if things go wrong, they will go very wrong. If someone else holds it and things go wrong, you can resolve the situation without any muss or fuss, as they say.
I'm looking at Piju and I'm like tapping him on the back, going.
We saw Carmen wielding the ring for some time without any immediate risk. So if I cast the spell that removes curses daily on myself, then I should be. I expect that will be effective. I don't know the true nature of the ring, so I can't say for sure. But since I believe I am most naturally resistant to the magic, given my extra effects, and I have the ability to remove the curse daily, I think that it is the wisest course of action to leave the ring with me until we can get rid of it.
Zola,
I would like to just, right now, if anyone would like to dispute Avarine's claims of potentially being more naturally resilient to this kind of thing, they need to roll an insight check versus persuasion from Averine. But I'd like everyone to whisper it to me if you would like to try and dispute that fact. If you want to take the ring because you want to take the ring, fine. That's you can argue that point. But if you think you have a better resilience than Averine,
I don't want to dispute it, but I do want to tell the team. I heard that I have magical resistance. I don't really want it, but there's that as a resource.
How, for me, Matthew, the player, because I don't know how to whisper, how do you whisper a roll besides /W?
Let me make.
Because I realized I rolled a couple things that were supposed to be whispers, and they're not. I know everybody's seeing them, and it's wrong.
It's okay. No one's seeing my responses. So what I've done, I've made a quick change to your character sheet that makes you query. Actually, I should change it to whisper toggle. Now on your page, you should see there is a button at the top that says public or to GM.
Hey, neat.
Yep.
So because I'm not trying to use the force of my personality to convince anyone of anything, I'm instead using reason. Can I do an intelligence persuasion roll? This would be using the
Intelligence
rules.
modifier and your proficiency bonus if you're proficient in persuasion, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, that makes sense. Go ahead. Whisper, obviously. Make sure it's whispered too.
To the GM.
And no one look at the stream because they'll be able to see his rolls.
So that'd be with a +5. So it's.
I still can't find the button. I'm supposed to
I
click.
made the change to Grigori's sheet, not.
Oh, okay.
I can make the change to Pijo's right now. It takes 2 seconds to.
Literally, it was up
Very
immediately.
whisper.
Because
Oh,
Teobanth is a master.
Oh, I
Of
see it now.
dungeons.
Thank you.
There you go.
Ta-da!
Right. So, thus far, everyone that has rolled believes that what Averine says, in terms of an actual factual side of things, yes, Averine probably is the most resistant to this kind of thing. If you want the ring because you want the ring, fine. But you believe her.
Averine, if you wish to hold the ring, I won't oppose you, but unlike Carmen, if you succumb to it, we've no way to dispel it. And that means, more likely than not, a fight to the death. If you know that going in,
Hey, we can attempt to knock her out first still, right?
sure, we can certainly try. But as there are so many unknowns about the ring, that may not be possible. Just so you understand the risks you assume by taking the ring and being our only person who can possibly dispel it.
I don't blame you for your trepidations, and I fully accept the risk that comes with bearing the ring. So, if you feel I have some come to it, and I cannot convince you otherwise, then by all means, take it from me by whatever measure you have at your disposal.
Very well. Crash of thunder in the background. Ominous.
All right.
Averine, I think you just need to just try and be honest. If you feel like it is trying to take control, just be honest with us. And I think everybody just needs to support you on it. If they can just support you, that'd be great, because it is a burden.
I tell you now, I have no desire for this ring. Knowing what I know of it and what it is likely to do, I have no desire to see any ill become of any of you. So I'll never try to attune to it. And if I feel myself at risk for succumbing to it, I'll let you know at once.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to try to talk some sense into the ring, but and I have some ideas of what you're all capable of, and ways that you could individually ensure it's that it's never found by anyone. But I don't want to make these offers on your behalf without your input. And so if this is acceptable to you, can you tell me your ideas for ensuring the ring is never found by anyone?
Well, you know the plan with Xanthi, so you can use that.
So you mean to leverage your mother's resources, and that she will
Ensure it's never ever found by anyone ever again, and she can.
and ensure that her memory herself is wiped, so that
Mhm.
she cannot tell anyone herself.
Correct.
Okay, very well. Does anyone else have any ideas?
We should simply not tell anyone where we're going, because more likely than not, we'll enter the jungle and never be seen or heard from again.
Shago steps up. Well, I have a crazy idea. The ring cannot be destroyed, right?
No, it can be destroyed. It just can't be destroyed presently.
Yes, but for your understanding, it can only be destroyed by a specific method, right?
An archfey, yes.
Ah, yes. Crazy idea, and I do not know exactly where I got this from. We are about to walk to Omo, which is at the base of an active volcano.
Oh God, I saw the wings.
Go on.
If we place the ring in a place where no one can actually get to it, people would die getting the ring. Do you think the ring is powerful enough to freeze a volcano?
I don't think it is, but this is. I was thinking that Piju would be very well suited for the task of flying above a volcano and dropping a ring into it. I mean, I've heard stories, fictional stories, accounts of a terrible ring that had to be destroyed in a volcano, and it seemed very obvious to me at the end of the story that they should have taken some sort of flying conveyance to get from point A to point B. if it would have solved so many things so quickly.
Yes,
It's my
yes, I
fault.
know. I can fix all of the problems. Just let me handle it. We'll be fine.
It is just an idea.
It's an excellent idea. Thank you for your contribution, Shago.
Nonetheless, those are all long term. This is not for today.
It's not for today, but we have to be able to tell the ring that we have plans if it is to break its deal with us, if it would agree.
I see.
Does anyone else have any ideas?
You seem to have laid it out most succinctly.
It's almost as if I have a checklist. Tower, I know that you're able to travel underwater. Would you be able to travel a great distance underwater and bury the ring?
No. I can only assume this shape for about 2 hours. I cannot travel a great distance.
Can you grant the ability to breathe underwater and be in your normal form?
Yes.
So if worse came to worse, would you be willing to do this thing?
Check him.
This is possible, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I could assume a faster shape underwater with that. It is a new spell. I'm surprised that you were aware of it because I have not used it yet. But yes, in theory, this would give me 24 hours of the ability to breathe underwater, and I could change shapes and rest to change shapes some more and gain great distance. So it is possible. Yes.
Very well. I will. It seems that we have some options available to us. So I will now bring the ring.
A body of water is not very available while we are in the middle of the island.
Yes, this is true. All right. As I understand it, the ring has normal hearing, and its method of communication is to impart emotional responses. So far, it seems to be making a fuss by turning things cold. So I will now bring the ring into our circle here and let it say what it will.
Well, it doesn't say anything.
All right, ring. I have a proposition for you. I need you to stop messing with us and any other creature for the immediate future. We have important tasks to take care of. But I will tell you this. If you agree to desist from trying to affect us, I give you my word that I will find a suitable carrier and wearer for you in the future. If you do not agree, then we will ensure that you are never found by anyone. And this includes traveling to the Archfey, who can destroy you by merely putting her on your finger.
Are you trying to intimidate the ring?
Again, merely trying to reason with it. It seems to be aligned, its interests seem to be in finding a wearer. So I am offering to find a wearer for it, so long as it restrains itself from trying to affect other creatures in our vicinity.
The ring obviously does not physically react. You do not see any sort of reaction change. However, the drop in temperature that it had done when you first put it into silence is removed. The temperature slowly starts to warm back up, back to normal.
All right, I take this as an agreement. And I tell you now, if you renege on your agreement, we have all sorts of methods at our disposal to see to that no one ever finds you again. Off in the distance, you see that volcano. We can drop you in there, and no one will ever find you. We can bury you in the ocean, and no one will ever find you. We
No
can
response.
find the most dangerous and remote part of the jungle, find someone to bury you there, and then erase that person's memory, so no one will ever find you.
No response.
All right. Everyone, I see this is, I think the ring agrees to withhold its attempts to reach out. I will let you know if I feel otherwise in the future.
Since I have a level of corruption from the ring, how does that affect my perception of this deal? If at
Your
all.
level of corruption right now is
Just one.
simply that the ring is, like, you believe that the ring could actually be used to your benefit. If what you're saying, what it sounds like is going on, is a deal is being made with the ring wherein it stops being a hindrance. If it stops being a hindrance, then maybe it can be convinced to be used. Maybe you could make use of it while it's not trying to corrupt people.
Wonderful.
This leads to the last item on my checklist. If anyone feels they're currently under the effects of the ring, I could cast the Remove Curse spell twice more today. I don't know if that will totally eliminate the effects that you're currently under, but if you feel that you have some compulsion contrary to your character, I am happy to offer this service.
I have had dreams.
And I'd also like to point at Shago.
I am fine.
You
Ever-
sleep with your eyes open.
Ever since you cast the spell on Aveline and the ring went quiet, I have been fine. Don't worry about me.
Perhaps as Averine will, as a precaution, be casting it on herself today and perhaps for the next couple of days, she could, as a precaution, cast it on the rest of us.
Of course, you can cast it on me, but I think it might be a waste. If you say you have the magical energy to be able to cast it twice, it might be better to focus on two of your companions than myself. I think it would be a waste on me.
It will certainly leave me less useful for other things throughout the day, but I agree there isn't a price you can put on peace of mind. So who would like to be first today?
I suggest
Silence. Nobody.
it maybe is a powerful spell for you.
On a scale of 1 to 9, it's around the third tier of difficulty.
Then perhaps we wait until in the day. We still have our character. We got ambushed about halfway through traveling that day.
Yeah. So you've
So
still got
still
plenty of
got
time
half
to
a day.
travel. Yep.
We still have half a day's travel. And we do not know what we will encounter. I prefer that you have retain your magic until the end of the day, and then we try again.
That's reasonable, unless anyone feels that they're very under the effects at this moment.
Shove, go forward.
I am fine.
All right, then we'll draw
We all
straws at the
say
end of the
we're
night,
fine.
and we'll see.
All right, fine.
Right.
Go ahead. I think it will have no effect on me. And if you want to waste your time, go ahead.
Where did you gain all this knowledge, Shago, of magic and magical things? How would you know?
I have met people. Maybe. You talk a lot.
I removed
So-
the curse on Shago.
You're casting Remove Curse. All right. So the effect of the ring is removed from Shago. His eyes seem to lighten up. His shoulders relax a little bit. See, Everything is fine. I'm good.
Is he good again? He's not neutral anymore?
He is good.
Oh,
He is
good.
good again.
Yay!
If we will be continuing on, I do wish to raise one thought as we travel. While we're heading to Omu, with very little detour, we could see the wreck of the that sky ship. Certainly not enough. We wouldn't be putting it back together, and that's not the intent. But I often feel like we're in the jungle with just what is on our back, and we are not adequately prepared in terms of equipment, supplies. There may be cargo, there may be supplies, there may be useful items that we could scavenge from the airship with only a minor detour. It's not that far away.
Well, I know I've done a lot of talking today. I want to suggest one last thing. I'll recall that in Kir Sabal, we had an elevation of between 500 and 600 feet, and it revealed a great deal of jungle to us. And then when we were in the heart of Ubtao, we also had a great elevation, and it revealed a great deal of our terrain. I would ask Piju, how long would it take you to fly up 600 or 700 feet to see what lies before us and to see what trouble might lay ahead?
Just a few minutes to get up that high. That's not too bad.
Mechanically speaking, would that be a thing that would work in our favor?
Yeah.
Mechanically speaking,
actually, if
on
I
a
dash,
clear day with no obstructions, Pijo would have a visual range of 2 miles.
Oh, we thought about this before because I was thinking like I could fly ahead and scout, and it seemed like it wasn't that beneficial. I would get too far away from the group,
reason,
and it would take...
if you travel more than maybe 3 miles at that point, you're actually traveling and you're risking exhaustion for yourself. Unfortunately, with just your own method of moving up, the act of flying is a bit distracting. You would be limited in the amount of sight and visual range you could gain. You'd be able to, I'd say, see the points, but you wouldn't gain any detail.
Yeah.
So if the act of flying is what is distracting, then in theory, if we had a magical means of flying, I could bring someone to the same altitude and they would get the same benefit that we had in Kir Sabal in the heart of Ubtao. Is that right?
Yes, potentially.
All right. On the morrow, I will prepare the spell for flight, but that doesn't tell us which direction to head in today.
So, let us continue moving. If someone is willing to help me hunt and search, I can.
I thought you would never ask.
Wait. Well, we have this monstrosity here to deal with, and we have not assessed. We were going to take parts from it, were we not?
Do you need to?
Well,
Really?
the red one is raises a point of we are unprepared, and well, Shargol has suggested this thing has quite a taste for other adventurers. I am curious to see what might be stuck in its gullet.
I don't think we need to.
If you wish to crawl in there, I will hold the mouth open for you.
I'm gonna walk away. I'll be right over there. Just get me when you're done.
Pijo is very
This
intentionally
also-
not being part of this conversation at all. It's just stressing him out again.
This also is the blood is this alpha predator, or the scent of it will repel most other predators and animals away from us. It is worth extracting blood and scent. Maybe we need to dip something in his blood so we can carry it on us.
I empty my water skin and give it to you. If you wish to collect here, use... I believe it's already bleeding somewhat. I see no reason to cut it anymore.
Do you both believe this will work?
Yes, I believe it will. Just repel other creatures away from us.
I claim no knowledge of the natural world and will rely on Tower's assertions.
I appreciate your honesty. Thank you, Luke.
I'm going
I
to.
think we're all just going to step back and let you do your thing.
Okay. So,
Well,
what do you
I kind
harvest
of feel
from the
like it's
carcass?
a waste to leave the creature not. Like, to kill the creature and to not use it is a waste and an insult to Uptal rather than to use it and use the circle of life kind of thing is better.
Well, druids will be druids, and Grigori gives you the water skin, and he'll walk away by Zola.
I'm going to start plucking feathers as well. I'm going to make a little headdress. It's quite a thing.
So,
But I want to cut
what's-
the belly, and I want to try and have a feel around and see if
Okay,
there's
alright.
anything inside there.
what skills are you going to be employing to do this? Will this be your survival?
It's going to have to be my survival.
Would it?
Shargo will help.
Yeah, because like
He'll
some of
get
his
involved.
fellas
He'll help.
might
They're
be
probably
digested.
not still in.
Oh, no,
They're
no,
probably
no,
not still in there, but-
no.
So go ahead and roll a survival check at advantage because Shargo is helping you.
That's right. Not good. 17.
17. Okay. You can harvest the blood so that you can have the blood of the King of Feathers. You can also gain enough feathers off of it to be able to make a headdress if you spent some time actually crafting one. In terms of sorting through its stomach and its bile, the cuts are a bit rough and it's hard. Its hide is actually really tough. This is not a natural beast. It is a monstrosity. And as such, some of its inside forms aren't where you would expect it to be. So eventually you do find the stomach, you cut it open, a whole bunch of just acid and muck and you see half digested flesh of something, but
I'm used to
nothing.
this. He's a hunter-gatherer. He's dealt with this, but he's just clearing it out. He's done this before.
Nothing useful,
Nothing.
unfortunately.
This is a
Okay.
shit. All right. So what I'm going to do with I want to get like an old rag or something, and I'm going to stick it on a stick, and I'm going to dip the blood in there to scent, and then we'll use the fresh one to top that up each day, and just keep a fresh scent going to sort of
Okay.
attract predators.
You would know by the same reasoning, because I know you asked me whether or not this would work,
Yeah.
and I said it would. You would know that it would only work on lesser beasts. Okay. Any greater beasts that are of a greater ability than the King of Feathers would be attracted to it. Any
You can tell me that.
lesser beasts would be repelled by it, but anything that is not under the category of beast would be unaffected by this.
Okay.
Grigori, it looks like if we traveled to that wreck, it'd almost double the amount of time it takes to get to Omu.
It certainly adds time. I'm not saying it has no consequence. However, given the dangers of Omu, taking an extra less than a 10-day to be better equipped is an option that perhaps would be fruitful.
If you hear, I feel I don't know, I feel like I'm in a better mood. And so, if you're willing to travel a little bit out of your way to try and be a little bit more prepared, here is an idea. From what I have been told, rumor has it, there is a huge treasure hoard within a mine just off the Shilku Bay. Huge treasure hoard. It does happen to be guarded by a red dragon, but it is a great hoard of treasure. If you want to be more
Minor
prepared,
detail.
that is a great opportunity.
I think you kind of
Shago,
passed over
it
some
is
real important there.
It is
Shago.
unclear to me how having a giant pile of treasure will make us more prepared.
How does a beast like that gain its treasure? It gains it by people coming to try and kill it and failing. You can get all of their stuff.
Shago, you are wise beyond what I originally would have expected.
Wait.
A man after my heart. Let's go kill a dragon.
So, we continuing on towards Omu, or are we taking a detour to the wreck of the Star Goddess? Oh, well, the wreck. I don't know the name of the ship.
This is a fine name. We should use this.
Shago, on our map, I think we have you or someone has indicated the different levels of threat in different areas of the jungle.
Yes.
How much more dangerous would a straight shot to Omu be from here, seeing as how we would likely be going into the elevated danger zone?
I think either direction we will have to deal with it. As much as I would like to say that I am the best tracker there is, which is true, by the way. Getting so exact in my tracking abilities and finding the path could, like if we were to try to skirt the dangerous zone, we might accidentally end up always inside the dangerous zone. I can't guarantee we would stay out. I think the best case for us might be to charge straight through, rather than spending extra time just on the outside. You never know what kind of creature might just come out.
Well, I've never gotten lost in the jungle before, and I think I can help us get through there pretty well. Spent a lot of time out here, even in unfamiliar spaces, but always make it back home. Still here today.
Carmen, you're the only one, I believe, with a timetable, given your father's condition. Shall we spend a couple extra days to perhaps find supplies and resources that will help us in our endeavor, or ought we to push straight through, come what may?
I see the benefits to both. I mean, I'm a lot happier. I've got a bit more time now. I know that he's still here with us. So if we'd lost him to the machine already, I'd be in a different boat. I'm happy to go with a general vote on this. I will go either way because I see the benefit. For instance, I know a few of us don't have any armor, and I don't know if we're going to be able to. A few of us do not have armor.
Precisely.
Yes, as me put it really politely. I see the benefit of going. I do see the benefit of going, but if people are objecting to it, then I'm not going to stand in their way.
All right. Should we put it to a vote then? All in favor of heading straight to Omu?
I won't get involved, even though Shago might. I won't get involved.
Shago can vote.
And Peugeot votes with his wing out instead of with his hand, but just, you know.
Okay. Unless there's a tie, Shago won't vote. So we have, once again, hands up for straight to Omu.
If we're allowed not to vote, then I won't vote either.
Well, I'm not voting because I'm the DM, and I plan for either eventuality. I don't want to show preference. All right. Those against going straight. Those that want to make a detour.
To the airship.
No half votes.
Carmen can abstain. If Zola can abstain, Carmen can abstain.
If Carmen says yes, we go to the wreck. If Carmen says she's not voting, I choose.
Well, technically, your question was not go to the wreck. It was detour.
Detour.
So.
Oh, Carmen's had so much on her the past couple of weeks, but Carmen kind of looks down, looks across, and thinks, we could do with something.
Okay. So, last chance, Zola. Are you voting?
No, I'm just I'm at this point where just tell me what to do.
Okay.
You can speak your mind if you wish, Mackenzie.
No, it's okay.
Right. Then to the wreck of the Star Goddess, it is. Right. So, using Shargo's method, Shargo's ability to be able to hunt and track, he'll start trailing. Pijo is going to help him, so he has advantage. Unfortunately, he gets
cannot
lost.
get lost. No, I cannot get lost. As a ranger, with this being my favorite terrain, we cannot get lost.
Okay.
Shago can get lost and get demoted from tour guide.
But I'm helping him. If I'm assisting, then I assume that's
Tower's like ignoring Shargo because Shargo just leaves him in no path.
Yeah,
You're doing well so far.
Charlotte's not good on watch, let's be fair.
Okay. So you move through and finish your day's movement towards the wreck, or towards where you believe there might be some form of supplies. You'll obviously bed down for the night. What are the precautions, again, that you are taking on this night? Everyone inside the hut, Averine out. Is that right?
Aye, but I'll be present for the casting, in case some beast tries to attack in the night. I can drop into the hut if need be.
Averine, were you going to cast this? Sorry.
Do not wish to just bury the ring and have a night's sleep. Would it? Do you feel you do not trust anybody else to not handle the ring in your absence, or do you wish not to be part of the ring?
I am operating under the assumption that changing ownership of the ring triggers its attempt to reach out and exert its will. And if I bury it and remove my own ownership, I feel like picking it back up might qualify.
Were you going to cast Dispel Magic one more time? If you're not too tired to...
I will remove a curse, and we'll draw straws if no one wants to volunteer.
I think...
I have had dreams, but I have not had dreams for many days now. Not since I have been sleeping outside the hut. So I believe the hut will protect us either way. I am not fussed.
You can always just roll a d6, Averine.
Averine takes out a 6-sided cube and rolls it.
I'll roll a d5.
Okay.
So that's Piju on my screen.
Fair enough. Piju, corruption is gone.
Yay! I trust you again, Averine.
I should say this, Grigori will 100% always be keeping track of where that ring is. Just FYI, so if it's in her pocket, that's fine, but he's going to be making sure that that's where it is at a given point.
So
just going forward.
In case it ever comes up, it is in a bag.
Attached to hip, next to Averine.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So as you guys rest, you'll be setting up the camp. As you said, everyone inside the hut, and then Averine leaves to go and sleep in your own section. You set up the alarm around yourself, and then you take your turns taking watches. Nothing will happen to you guys during the night, so you don't need to worry about any watches. However, I need to focus on Averine for a moment. Averine, once you've fallen asleep and subconscious begins to sink in, you hear a voice speak and call out to you. You swear you hear a voice, an unfamiliar voice. You've not heard this before. Calling out, Averine. Averine.
I am sleeping In a Scottish accent.
Oh, you and I will have fun together, I think. Your deal amuses me. What is it, Haverine, that you desire to gain from this existence?
For the next 6 to 8 hours, a good night's sleep.
And sleep you shall. It goes silent for a moment. This new haunting kind of voice stops. You hear some noises. Struggle, almost. Averine, help! Help! I don't have much time. I don't know what happened. I don't know how I ended up where I am. But I can sense you, Averine. It's me, Artus. I'm stuck. It looks like some form of a maze. I can't get out. There's another person in here. Another being. A monster. It's chasing after me. I was able to get through to you just for a moment, but it might... Poor little Artus. He's going to be watching you, by the way, Averine. Trapped in my ring. Trapped here forever. I'm going to let him watch as I destroy each and every one of you. And then you continue your sleep. Or wake up. Up to you.
I've had bad dreams before. It's
Yep.
no big deal.
Okay. In the morning, when everyone wakes up bright and early. It's a new day. It's one more day. Anything you doing on this particular day, on this morning?
I will be removing curses on myself.
Okay.
Oh,
Would have probably gone for an early morning hunt to get some meat, if anybody wanted some. Staying nearby, but rabbit or whatever's in the jungle, compies, I don't know. Not Goldblum, just other ones.
I will share the dream that I had with everyone. I will also share that I don't believe that it's authentically Artus, that the ring is trying to prey on sentimentality. But I will share the unvarnished details of the dream to the best of my knowledge.
How do you feel now, Averine?
I believe I feel fine.
Yeah.
Yep. Having used remove curse on you, there's nothing that the ring could do in this situation. So you're fine when you wake up. All right. Continuing on with the journey throughout the day, you guys will move forward. Who's guiding the group then? Go ahead. Roll a survival check. At advantage because someone will help. Okay. You begin making your way closer and closer towards your goal. Another day goes by. Another night. During the Unless there's anything specific that you guys would be doing on this particular day.
Just on the downtime, I want to not. I'm going to make a sort of thing that goes out of the feathers.
Okay.
During the downtime, but you know the kind of like Indian thing that where it's floating off the. Like
I think I know what you mean.
You know what I'm on about.
A headdress.
Not the headdress.
Poncho.
Like a
Over
poncho.
the shoulders, but
Over the
sits
shoulder
on the
poncho
back of the
thing.
shoulders. Yeah.
Yeah.
A mantle.
All right. Then, during this next night, Averine is visited again during her dreams. This time, no deep, haunting voice of the ring. It is purely just Artus. He explains more to Averine. I'm hoping Averine might be able to hear us.
I do think Averine took off his earphones.
No. Averine. Well, in the meantime, thank you, Lucky Hidan, for subscribing to us. Woo-hoo. Appreciate that.
Isn't that my arch nemesis? I should not be happy about that.
Yes. Lucky Hidan.
Boo! Boo!
Such
Oh, you can stay. I don't mean
Don't
it.
feed him. Don't feed it. Don't.
All right. Well, I'll catch everyone up on what happens in Averine's dreams in just a moment.
And
Okay.
hit her. I barely know her.
Oh, what a good one.
Oh.
We all laugh
Averine.
appropriately.
You have another dream on the following night. Another visit by Artus. This time it's just Artus's voice. It's not the ring's voice. It speaks to you, explaining more about the location that it is in. Oh, are you rolling remove curse against? Okay.
Yeah.
Tower and Grigori. Okay, fair enough. He talks about the maze a little bit more. How he remembers the battle, and then next thing he knows, his mind is stuck within the ring. Trapped here, he is locked, lost. He'll walk down a corridor, and the corridor itself will change in front of him. It'll open, it'll close, it'll turn, rotate. Monsters appear suddenly and chase him down. He confides in you, Averine, that I'm scared. And it's been a very long time since I've been scared. I need help. Please, Averine. You know this kind of thing.
I am very gifted at solving puzzles. Ubtao has cautioned myself and Zola to stay on the path, and if he holds sway on this island, it might be his guidance offering us this suggestion. So perhaps you should try to stay to the path, for I have no knowledge of the maze that you're in right now.
But the path keeps changing, Averine. I follow the same direction every single day. And every single day I am going a different direction. It's confusing. I don't know where I am or how I got here. But you gotta believe me, Averine. This is really me. And then it's cut off, the voice. A light chuckle from a deep voice from beyond. I'm going to find you, Artus. I'm going to find you in this little maze in here. Then you wake up. Nothing happened on this night. However, in the morning, as you all pack up your bags, you're getting ready to head out into the path. Something stumbles upon you. Another fairly large set of heavy footprints start making their way, only this time not alone. Can I get perception checks from everyone? Nice. All right. Everyone that rolled a 20 or higher gets a lot of detail. You're able to determine that headed your way are 5 creatures, 4 of which are large. 1 is huge. They're all headed your way. What do you do in preparation? You have less than a minute. You've got a couple seconds.
Can't
we
see
identify
visibility
the
on
bunch of
We are in the open, sorry.
Wherever you would have set up your camp, you're in the thick of the jungle, so there's trees everywhere. So it's not like out in the open, but
Can I
it's
roll
not.
survival to see what the
It's
prints are
cast
from as
us out.
well?
They're not prints. This is the sound of
Oh.
creatures coming to you.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood.
Yeah.
Okay.
You cast invisibility on yourself?
Yeah, I take it the camp's no longer set up then.
Yeah, this is after
Right.
the camp. This is
Sorry,
just as you
what
guys were
type
setting
of
up.
creatures are these?
4 large, 1 huge. That's all you guys know. So
I'm
We
gonna
don't know what they are.
cast.
no, because they're coming towards you. You haven't seen them. You can just hear the
Oh.
sound of their
Yeah.
footprints right
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
You
Are
have a
we-
moment to react to their
Are
sound
we
of
running,
approach.
hiding, or fighting?
Yeah.
Very quickly. Run, hide,
I'm going
fight.
for hiding.
I recommend run.
Are we hiding or running?
I defer to our scouts.
Either
Or
way,
shall
I'm
we?
Pijo, Shago.
Pijo will always prefer to stay and fight than to run. So
gonna climb up in a tree and wait.
Yeah.
Zola, dear.
Mm.
Touch you. You're invisible. And I'm invisible too.
Okay.
That's impossible about trace.
I'm gonna cast Hail of Thorns on myself. So I have that ready.
Hail of
Oh, no.
Thorns is only going to last 6 seconds.
And then conscious
Is it
that
only?
there's-
Oh, no, it's a minute. Its duration
It's a
is 1
minute.
minute.
Okay.
Concentration, just on the first, yeah.
conscious that the blood is going to be sensible.
Oh,
Tower will wild shape into a panther. And,
Wild shapes into a panther.
and consume the any of the scent into his wild shape while he's holding it.
That's a clever use of wild shape.
Oh, that's smart. Maybe I didn't think about hiding.
you're on your own at the moment, PG.
Well, clearly, if you want to,
He's there on his own like that, going, yeah. We're all like,
you're ready to set an ambush, right? So clearly, you take precautions.
Yeah, of course. I wasn't thinking, but I saw like Avery went to hide. I'm like, oh right, I should do that too.
I need to stealth as a panther.
Yeah.
But you're a panther. They're not going to think of you as anything more than that. Just strut round.
No. We still might want to eat you.
Do you not climb a tree?
But I get stuck.
Wrong token. There we go. I was trying to figure out why isn't the token switching working. I set it up to work. It's because I was using the wrong token. Okay, cool. So, if I understand it rightly, we have Carmen, Zola, Grigori all invisible.
That's right. And
Ty,
Up a tree.
Tower is now a panther,
And I cast Path Without Trace before it.
and you cast Path Without a Trace. Averine, what are you doing?
I see that we are preparing for a fight, and I saw Tower doing the familiar pass without a trace, so I'm hiding and ready to attack if need be.
Okay.
Hiding and nearby.
Shago will try to stealth. 23, not bad. All right. Cool. Can I get stealth checks from those that are invisible as well? You have advantage on the stealth checks, but
Okay.
you
plus 10.
do still need to roll.
And plus 10.
Yeah, plus 10 is Path Without Trace.
and isn't
Oh, awesome.
and as a point of order, if I understand invisibility, you can only be detected by non-magical means, right? Or by magical means.
No, you can be detected by non-magical. invisibility just removes any sort of visual cues of your person. However, there are other cues like sound that you make. Plus, if you are holding a tree branch in a method that the tree branch should not be turned, your position of something invisible might be obvious. It's like an invisible creature being underwater. People would see the missing water.
What is the statistical likelihood of rolling 2 20s back to back like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Very, very low. Let's see how these creatures do in perceiving you, though.
Right, I see. So you cannot be seen, but you can be sensed by smell or if you're displacing water and other stuff, right?
Yep.
All right.
It's a 0.25 chance.
0.25.
Yes.
Wow.
It's a pretty slim chance. All right, so everyone is stealthing, and everyone is actually stealthing very well. As you watch as a nice grouping of creatures
Oh, those don't look like a nice grouping of anything.
are headed in your direction.
The T-Rex. I can make that fly.
No. The creatures that stand before you are all clearly undead, as you see portions of their flesh just rotted and hanging off. But you see 5 creatures. One huge T-Rex. A zombie T-Rex. Followed, for some reason followed, by 4 large Goralan zombies.
And they're all headed in the other direction.
And they all walk towards you. You're all very quiet. Let me just double check what we have for stealth checks. We have Averine with a 29. Pijo with a 26. The Panther with a 35. Shago with a 23. Zola with a 39. Grigori with a 15. No, sorry, 20. 20. Yeah, 20. Carmen with a 35. Yeah, all right. So the loudest amongst you, being Grigori, still quiet enough to avoid detection. You guys successfully avoid the attention of these particular creatures.
Do not levitate one of them.
Do you let them pass? You don't touch them. Okay, good. All right. Well done on hiding from these creatures. All right. Oh, you take a moment. You're good. The creatures have moved away far enough away that you manage to continue to move and trek through the jungle for the rest of the day. The journey will continue for another 2 days before anything else happens. Is there anything you guys would be doing during that time?
I would have removed Curse on Zola, and that's it, right? Because Carmen's already... Yeah. Zola's left.
That should be everyone. Okay.
I'll do a thing.
What's your thing?
I should tell my mom what's been going on and what's up, because a lot has transpired.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and use the sending ring and say, our wizard has it, but leaving now means abandoning the mission for the Soulmonger. We're close to finding it in Omu. We love you, Mom.
Thank you. If you are in Omu, if you are headed to Omu, I could send supplies via boat to Shilku Bay.
And
What else could you say? If you are running low, I can help. That'll be it.
okay. So when we're all together again, I'll say, talk to my mom. She said she wants to help, but the closest that she can get to Omu is Shilku Bay, which is a couple of days away from Omu. But that's an option. She says she'd like to help if she can.
Did she happen to mention that she also killed the red dragon there? That would be very fortuitous.
And the sending ring only works once a day, so I can't rebuke or offer any rebuttals or anything till tomorrow.
Would you like to question her on another day?
Yeah.
Because there are 2 days. Like, if you wanted to request a second, go ahead.
Did you know there's a red dragon at Shilku?
Last I heard, it's deep in the mine. Don't go near it. You'll be fine.
Good advice.
Oh, look, I'm rhyming again.
She says it's deep in the mine, so if we just stay way away from there, she seems to think it's safe enough to deliver supplies. I don't think Mom would put us in danger intentionally.
Well, maybe we'll see what's at this shipwreck, and if we're still short, maybe accepting her aid would be good.
Okay.
Zola, I wanted to ask you about these dreams I'm having. I don't know that I believe that it's Artis, but I fear just dismissing it as a trick. And it actually being an artist would be worse than believing it and letting it actually be a trick. Artis is apparently lost in a maze. I know that Ubtao has tested us with mazes in the past. And Valindra has suggested that the trickster gods, or the legend of the trickster gods anyway, might hold a clue to the path to the soulmonger. Do you think there's anything I should be watching for in my dreams to give Artis any assistance?
Well, mazes by nature are what they are. I mean, they should be difficult to navigate. So, Ubtao says when you're lost, reflect. But I don't know if he can do that where he's at, if it really is him. Always go right. Somebody else once said. I don't know. What's his situation in there? Is he being like? What's the situation?
He says he's being chased by monsters.
Okay. In that case, that's probably just, if it really is him, he just needs to keep moving. Doesn't matter if the maze changes around him.
Avoid the monsters. Don't care
avoid the monsters.
about your destination.
Well, I mean, this is all really tricky because, this is the ring, and it might be screwing with us. When you tried to figure it out and all the things that it can do, did you figure out that it could do anything like contain a soul or anything?
That was not one of the properties I was able to reveal.
That's not Artis. I don't think that's Artis, if that is the case.
But clearly there are things that it can do that I was not able to reveal. So
Well, you'd think containing a soul would be of the things that you would be able to figure out.
Well, perhaps the curse, which is the thing that I was not able to determine, is the thing that traps someone's soul within it.
Mm. Yeah, I guess just tell them to keep running. Don't let the monsters catch them. Are they actually monsters? Maybe they're not monsters. Maybe he just thinks they're monsters. No, they're probably monsters.
I don't know if I can see the monsters in my dreams.
At the moment, it's just voices.
Okay.
At the moment.
All right. I will see if I converse with the dream artist again. I'll ask him for descriptions of his surroundings and of the monsters that are in pursuit.
Depending on what kind of maze you're in, there might be a top to it, in which case you can escape the maze by running along the top.
Okay.
It's usually the purpose of the maze is to get to the center of it. So maybe there is safety to be had at the center, but that could also be really bad because there might be monsters there too. The mazes are tricky. They're tricky by nature.
Aye.
Sorry, I can't be really of much assistance.
It's quite all right. Carmen, if you can spare ascending, I was thinking that might be good to tell Ashara that we're heading to Omu. In case Greco were to wake, he would know where to find us.
Fine. Would I need to do that now, or could I just say I did that? And
Okay. No,
I
you
would
can...
literally just say exactly that where we're heading, and to
Mhm.
let Greco know if he wakes up, and how is he doing?
Okay. The response is that by now, Greco's form seems to be more normal, so it seems to be completely physical. However, he has not come back to consciousness yet.
Okay.
Okay. So they're keeping him clean, keeping his body watered. Whatever reptiles need, they're not sure.
Sandy.
Sandy.
Okay.
Here's a juicy bit of spinach. Yeah. I can't tell
Bugs,
the group.
please. And
Bug
fish.
pace.
This is pleasing to hear.
Okay. So you guys continue moving on. You've had these discussions about the potential trap, maybe not so much a trap within the ring, trying to figure out. As you're moving, you come across a strange sight. A shadow seems to just swing just to the side of your vision, behind a couple trees. You get a good glimpse of it, and it looks like someone is hanging from a tree. Who is scouting?
By a hand
It's
or by
Pijo.
a rope?
It's Pijo that's scouting, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
with Shargo's help, you first glimpse it is a person hanging, strung by their feet
Ooh.
I
to
was
a
not
tree.
expecting. It's not expecting upside down.
As you look, the person is dressed in simple clothing, but heavy, colorful robes have fallen down over their head and shoulders.
Well, hopefully they have some breeches on underneath those robes.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
So if not, I'm casting a cloud on that bit.
Yes,
Are they
do.
saying anything, or are they just dangling?
They're just dangling.
Well, I'm going to.
Is there hands hanging? Does the flesh look?
Unfortunately, the robes are long enough that they cover
Okay, well, what do
everything
the legs look like?
above the shoulders. They look normal legs. They're human-like legs. The robes
Scary.
look The robes look like wizard robes.
Did I look fresh, or did I look a little bit decomposed?
Fresh.
Are there any wounds visible on this person whose robes are now dangling over their upper half?
Not from the lower half.
Okay.
No wounds on the lower half, which is what you can see. The robes inside out, though they are, do clearly indicate that they are a red wizard.
I say we keep moving then. Oh, well, does he we can't see his head?
Can't see his head.
I'm going to call out to the dangling wizard.
No response.
I'm going to call out again, say a little louder. Not too loud because we're still in the jungle.
Could be a trap.
Just a little louder.
Perhaps we should move on.
Still no response. Shargo with you turns his spear around so he's got the butt end and starts to poke it.
Okay, that seems fine.
No response from
How close? How high off the ground is he?
Oh, it's only dangling about maybe 5 foot reach away from you all.
Does he smell dead or like death or like anything like that?
Shark being Chewbacca out of Return of the Jedi right now.
How close do you get to it?
Well, I mean, if I'm with Shago and Shago's close
fresh
enough
to
to
be
poke it.
decomposing. So
Okay. I'm gonna roll a perception check from about. Well, so I'm next to Shago, and Shago's close enough to poke it, but I'm assuming the range of the spear to poke isn't the same as the range to attack. Like you can hold the end of it, and
yeah.
But so I figure we're like 15 feet away.
Are we all there?
Yeah, anyone I would say would be coming up behind. If the moment your scout starts taking time investigating something, that's when everyone catches up.
Oh, sorry,
So,
and I get a
catch
plus
up.
3 to that from being in the woods. I forgot to put that in, but
Can we check for traps?
Roll a perception check.
Oh, I got another 20.
It would appear that his legs are tied to a rope, slung up over a tree, and following the way that the rope is connected, you can understand, Tower and Carmen, that this guy triggered a trap.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's not a trap inherently.
Okay.
So.
Can we check? So, I'm
can we
guessing
scan the
I'll
area
check
for
the
traps
check
besides
with it.
this?
That's what they did, and that's all they found.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Carmen, what did you say?
I was going to say, if we've noticed that, with our checks, did we check the floor? Do we have to do another roll to check the floor?
The whole floor, the only trap you found, the only evidence of any traps, is the one that he had already sprung to be in this predicament.
Okay. Can we see, because he's not looking as though he's decomposed anyway, he's looking quite fresh. Can we tell if he's alive or not without getting too close? Like, can we see any movement of the chest, see if he's breathing or anything?
Unfortunately not. Not with the way that his robes have kind of drawn themselves down over his upper body.
What if we look up at him? Like,
If you want to get close enough to do that, go ahead.
Ooh, I have an idea. I have a mirror in my gear. Can
That'll
I
do.
slide it to get a view of him from where I'm standing?
Yes, you can.
Like kind of like shuffle it around the ground so I'm not getting any closer?
Mhm.
All right, well, I'm going to do that.
Shuffle it. You push the mirror as slowly as you can. Eventually, you start seeing the reflection. You see the robe, okay. You can see a hand. The hand does look like it's covered in blood. Then you see another hand, and then the robe. Hang on. Pull back. There's no head.
Ew.
You can see with the reflection of the light that his head has been torn off at the neck. And when I say torn, I mean ripped from its head.
Is there anything I can do to see if this makes sense with the way that the trap looks like it worked? Or if that looks like it was from the trap, or if it was from something else that attacked him?
It looks like something else that attacked him.
And this is fresh.
And this is fresh.
How fresh? Can we tell that?
You need to go in and use a medicine check on his wounds.
Okay. I'm not trained in it, but I'll try.
Is it still dripping blood onto the floor? I mean, if his head was ripped off and he's hanging there, presumably there's a lot of fluid that could be dripping.
No fluid anymore.
Ooh,
Is there a lot of fluid on the ground underneath him? Like a big brown spot?
You know, there is no puddle of blood.
Well, that's unsettling.
Okay, so roll a medicine check.
You know, with the knowledge that there's no blood underneath it and there's nothing dripping, I don't think Pijo's going to investigate that neck. I think he's going to just step away carefully. I'm going to turn to the group and say, well, this thing has no head. It's wearing the robes of a red wizard, but with no head, it might not be a red wizard. Also, there's no blood, except on its hands, but there's no blood, but it looks fresh, and I'm not good at putting things together, but these don't look right. So maybe one of you smart people that's hanging out with me can help figure this out.
Hey, Joe, you should go through the pockets, see if you can find a wizard book or any money.
That seems like a terrible idea.
Well, I don't know.
Why don't you go through the pockets and see if you can find any money?
I can't fly. It's too high up. It's 5 foot to the chest, but then the pockets are just too high.
Then I guess we'll never
down
get.
to you.
I'm gonna fireball the rope.
So, firebolt, even if you miss the first couple, eventually you'll be able to fire off enough firebolts in quick succession to hit the rope, and it drops.
Pijo bolts away. The minute the first firebolt goes, he with his wings just pushes himself backwards to get away from whatever might happen.
I searched the body.
Okay, investigation check. What was that, Tower?
I was just saying to PG that the trap has already been triggered, little one.
Is he that little?
He is compared to Tower.
Okay.
Grigori, looking over his person, you can clearly see that the head was torn off, as described. You can see that there are portions of his robes around his neck that appear to be frayed, as if it was removed in a struggle. Looking over the rest of his body, and particularly the robes that he is in, definitely a red wizard, definitely of the necromancer variety. But unfortunately, without the head and the forehead, you can't really tell whether or not it was your red wizard or the other red wizards.
Sure.
Okay. However, looking over his body, you notice that his belongings are still on him. His bag is still on his person. Whatever killed him, whatever took his head, whatever took the blood, didn't care to take his belongings.
What's in the bag? What's in the box? What's in the box?
You open the bag. Nothing is in the bag.
Pijo wants to be looking for footprints that are nearby, because he's less concerned about the fact that a trap was set off and more concerned about the fact that a dead headless thing was just set up here to look like a trap was set off, and it's fresh. So I don't know if that's survival or if that's a perception or an investigation.
So I would say survival.
Okay.
To see if you can find
I
traps.
put my hand in the bag and I think really hard about coins and
Can
money.
I assist PG with that right now? Because I was looking for traps in a general sense of, is this a bait trap in itself? So it's the same kind of thing from the earlier perception.
It's fine. So
I forgot how to add the +3 from being in the woods, so it's whatever this is plus
That's okay.
3.
All right.
Yeah.
So you managed to successfully determine that there are footprints that lead away from here. Okay. But they don't lead away from here in such a fashion that looks they look hurried. With your 25, these look like hastily made footprints.
Humanoids?
Small footprints.
Okay.
Goblinoid footprints.
Ooh, gross.
Yes, Zola.
I'm going to climb up into a tree and remain vigilant, thinking that at any second something will descend upon us.
Okay. Okay.
I'll be drawing my bow, just ready to attack. Not readying an attack, but ready to attack if we need to.
It appears you might get a second round with these goblins.
Good.
So there's nothing in the bag.
Grigori put his hand in there.
I shake it out. I shake it out.
Oh, no. You shake it out, nothing comes out. But you put your hand in there and you think about coin.
Yeah.
And a coin appears in your hand.
I think about platinum coins.
No platinum coins appear in your hand.
Do I know? Can I do an Arcana check to see if I know what this is?
Roll an Arcana check.
Is the bag of holding?
Your brief understanding would be that this is some form of custom-made bag of holding that does not look like a bag of holding. Normally, a bag of holding tends to have a face on the front.
Right.
For some reason, some designer in the Forgotten Realms decided to create all bags of holding with faces on them. This one doesn't have that. It looks like an ordinary satchel. However, with the way that it works, the way that you think about something that might potentially be in there, and it was in there, you could deduce that this may be a bag of holding.
Okay.
You would know that if it is a bag of holding, there is one surefire way to remove everything from it, and that's turn it inside out.
I'm going to take the red robes and put them in there. And then is there anything else on the body?
No, nothing else on the body.
Now is not a great time to turn that bag inside out to see what happens. So I'm just going to hold on to it, and we'll do that later.
Okay. And we will do that later. In fact, we'll do that in 15 minutes. We're going to take a quick break. In the meantime, while we're on a break, do we have a Who's That Monster for this week, Casey?
Well, yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Thank you very much, Casey, for getting that prepared, and Carl for setting it up. All right, so on your screen, you will see you should possibly see a Who's That Monster come up soon. There we go. Now type in the chat what you think that could possibly be, and in 15 minutes when we get back, we'll find out who was right. All right, see you in a bit. Welcome back after the break. Thank you for sticking with us. So, during the break, or just before the break, we had the Who's That Monster up, and the answer is the Batiri Goblin, specifically a Goblin stack. I think none of you mentioned goblins. Terrible. Terrible. We'll have to do better next time. All right.
What a shame.
So, remember, each week we try to do a Who's That Monster that refers to creatures that the party might have encountered previously. So, pay attention to the creatures the party have encountered or may encounter for the rest of today, as that might come up in next week's Who's That Monster. So, we rejoin the party, back in the thick of it. You guys you're at the headless, hanging wizard's body. Grigori has just claimed a bag that may or may not be a bag of holding.
Was there anything on the body besides the robes?
Nope. Robes in the bag, that was it.
Packing that up, throwing it on the shoulder. We can investigate this later tonight, but for now, we'd best be going.
Which way are we going? Should we continue the path towards the wreck that we know? Or should we follow these tracks to maybe track down these goblins?
Well, if the goblins are killing red wizards, I don't see a problem with them right now.
We should keep our eyes open, though. They may have laid more traps in the area.
Okay. So, keen eyes everywhere.
Even more than usual.
Yep. You don't happen to have a magic way to make us see all traps, do you? No.
No.
Sorry,
Traps
Shaka.
are as diverse as the people who can set them, and no one magic can resolve them all.
Okay, so let us continue. The journey will continue. You'll move away from the the body, and you'll be able to set camp on the next day, next evening.
If we clear out an area, gonna empty that bag upside down. Actually, while we're hiking, Grigori's gonna keep putting his hand in the bag and keep thinking gold piece or silver piece, like money. Just one at a time, get it out and put it in his pocket, and hope no one notices that he's just surreptitiously emptying the bag of its money as they're hiking.
Sleight of hand check and whisper it to me.
Okay.
He's so sneaky.
Okay.
Passive perception, 17.
Yeah, I've got a list of everyone's passive perceptions here, and actually, I was.
If
about
anyone
to say
notices,
Greco,
can I
but
deceive them?
No.
Can I use a deception check?
If anyone, Pijo, what's your passive perception?
Well, since we are in the woods, in the jungle, it is a 19.
Okay, all right.
That's
So, Pijo, Zola, and Tower all notice this activity of hand in bag, hand out. You see something shiny, hand in pocket. No more shiny. Hand in bag, shiny, hand in pocket. No shiny. Would you call him out on it?
I might
Like-
go up to him quietly to talk to him, like, so how'd you figure out that trick? I could use some shiny.
Zola, what were you going to say?
Just-
Sorry.
I was just gonna say neat
Oh,
at the end.
okay.
Tower doesn't give a damn about gold. So.
Well, Peach, I suspect
I mean, Tower
this-
only learned about money, like, what, a month and a half ago?
Yeah. He doesn't really.
Well, Pijo.
I'm kind of conflicted. Would he care that the rest of the group cared about money?
Well, Pijo, some bags are magically enchanted so that the thing inside of it comes only when you call it to mind.
Well,
I
then,
don't know what this bag may contain, but I've been guessing at perhaps a coin or two. Would you like to give it a try?
Absolutely. And
So, who knows what's in the bag? Just stick your hand in, think of that thing, and then see what comes out.
Picho's going to think of a shiny bracelet and reach in to see if he can pull one out.
Roll a d20.
Okay. Oh, that wouldn't be
I'm
much,
waiting for this thing to be a mimic that's just gonna like eat a hand off.
right?
A mimic that's been slowly feeding you coin.
I mean, you know, false sense of security. Cholt's a dangerous place and all.
Oh,
Unfortunately, there is no shiny bracelet
Oh.
in the bag. So
Can Tower try? May I have gold?
I mean,
Picho feels dejected.
presumably I had this conversation with PG, would like to be quiet. If Tower overheard it, that's fine. I just don't want Averine to
I-
overhear.
Okay.
Sure, Tower. Give it a try.
Can I reach in and think about one of those daggers that the liches have been carrying?
nice, cool.
hmm
That could
Using
You-
it for real.
roll a d20.
go. Nice.
Ooh!
You reach in. You think about the thing that you've seen before. You saw one kill the Red Wizard in Baldur's Gate. You saw one inside Valindra Shadowmantle's chest. You find one in the bag.
Now, do we know it's the same kind, or is it just a dagger that looks like it?
It looks like it. You don't know. It has a tinge of magical essence to it. It's definitely a magical dagger at the very least.
And it has the same pommel at the end.
Seems to have a pommel on the end.
Picho is going to see this and be like, can we just reach in and ask for the soulmonger? Will it come out? And he's going
You're
to try it. It's not
Give
I'm
it a
sure
try,
it's-
Pijo.
but he's
Go
gonna
right
try it.
ahead.
Everyone's gonna get excited. Oh, my turn, my turn.
Nope.
This bag sucks.
Is a common
Broken.
of the Red
We
Wizard
will We will empty it out in its entirety when we have a safe moment this evening. But Tower, that was an excellent find. Congratulations.
Oh, I'm gonna say that.
Not one bit jealous.
I'd like
Well
to lean over to Grigori and very, very quietly whisper, is that like something that could help Averine out with her burden?
I don't know. We'd have to ask Averine, but I'd just as soon wait till tonight. We know Tower has that. We'll empty everything else out, and we can go from there.
Okay.
Okay. So before being caught, Grigori, you managed to get 7 gold pieces.
Well, I'll keep doing it after, too, just on the hike. Like, if Averine didn't notice and Tower and Pijo don't blab about it, I'll just keep going. I'm not ashamed of what I'm doing. I'm not hiding it.
Pijo's just gonna come up every now and then and try again, and presumably just keep failing at pulling something out of this bag, and get more and more frustrated with it, and more
well, because you're Aarakocra,
trying.
you keep pulling for something an Aarakocra would want, not something that a weird wizard would presumably have in a bag.
And like their concept of ownership isn't really the same as a normal concept of ownership. So he's just like, I'm just gonna find something and I'll carry it for a while. But he doesn't ever. It just keeps getting nothing. Maybe once he finds like a stone when he wants a shiny thing, but that's it.
Fair enough. All right, so you guys reach the campsite. You are able to unload the bag. Before you reach the campsite, Grigori, you do get a total, including the 7 from before, a total of 127 gold pieces.
Ooh.
Before you get to the camp. Just one at a time.
This is
Like a optimal season.
going to do a real number on the economy in this region, I think.
It's a bag of rebels.
Yep.
It's a D&D bag of rebels.
You turn the bag inside out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I'll say, I was looking through and pulled some coin, and Tower pulled a dagger, and let's empty everything else out, just so everyone sees.
So now, Averine, it's clear that you understand there is a bag of holding in the party. Okay. You flip open inside out the bag, and stuff begins to fall out. You see a bunch more coin, totals out in various different currencies of copper and silver and electrum, but it ends up being a total of an additional 226 gold pieces. You see a number of animal skulls ranging in different sizes, whatever could reasonably fit within the bag. These include beast skulls, but also goblin skulls. Do you notice? A huge horn with a lion's head on the end drops out, as well as a book looking somewhat like a spell book of a red wizard. Might be useful.
Averine, I think you could use this.
A single piece of mithril chain shirt. I don't know if any of you can make use of a mithril chain shirt, but that's what you find. So, do I say it wrong, looking at it, mithril?
No.
So,
that's right.
I'm not sure. Okay.
dividing
So,
up
what
what
do you wanna
gold we found, that's 37 each, with a couple left over. Which
Which you can divide
That's-
out into silver and copper. There
Right.
were enough denominations there.
that's assuming Averine doesn't get one, because she got a spell book. It's pretty nifty.
Tower will pass his gold to Averine. I do not need this, and you said that you needed money for creating spells. So have this. I do not need it.
Take it, Tower.
That does include Shago. Shago would get 37 as well.
Mostly, Pijo is just going to rifle through to see if a bracelet comes out of the bag.
Now, unfortunately, no bracelet comes out of the bag.
Well, what the heck? He's going to ruffle his feathers and just take his share of the gold begrudgingly and start shining it.
So this shirt, Tower, Shago, can either of you make use of this?
I already donning armor. Do not need this.
Shago can't.
And this is the same as a chain shirt.
It is a chain shirt. It is just made out of mithril.
Can a bard use that?
I need to check.
It's medium armor.
So chain shirt, medium armor, mithril's lighter than normal. Would I be able to fly while wearing that?
So
Because it's
a
medium
chain
armor,
shirt,
so it's by that I would imagine, but I don't know if mithril affects that.
the mithril mostly on a chain shirt mostly just affects the weight of it.
Okay.
Because normally mithril makes a difference when it comes to like stealthing in heavy armor. That happens to be mithril. It helps, but in this situation, the mithril chain shirt is just a higher quality, worth more if you were ever able to trade it back in, and it weighs less.
Okay. So it would still be as encumberancing as anything else. I wouldn't be able to fly.
It would weigh 10 pounds instead of the 20 that it normally weighs.
Cool.
I am wearing a regular I'm wearing a regular chain shirt presently.
Perhaps you'd like something lighter. Perhaps something higher quality than what you currently have.
Well, if no one else can make use of it, but it seems like if someone else could make use of it, it should go to them first.
Carmen can use it.
Okay, then Carmen, you now have a mithril chain shirt.
Yes!
Cool.
Thank you.
And that is better than what you currently have.
I had nothing.
Oh.
It's exceedingly better than what she currently has.
I wasn't walking around topless, but I didn't have anything to protect me. So
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
So you had a +4 from your dex, but now you have a +3 and a +2, so it's a total of +5. Is that so? It's a
Yeah, so it's still an improvement.
improvement. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right.
Do you want me to identify any of these things?
Can I pass you the dagger? See what that does.
Okay. So casting Identify on this dagger, you do find that it is a magically enchanted dagger. Specifically, it is a +1 dagger that if it crits, if you crit with the dagger, you also deal an additional 2d6 of necrotic damage. Now, that's not critted. Like, that's not then doubled again because of a crit. Just clarifying that. It is just, if you crit, you roll an additional 2d6 of necrotic damage to the target. If the dagger kills a creature, there is a chance its soul is stored within the gem at the end if the gem is not currently inhabited.
Is the gem currently inhabited?
It is currently inhabited. There is a soul within that dagger. Unfortunately, you have no way of knowing what is in it.
Can I cast Detect Thoughts and see if I can communicate with the soul in the dagger?
No, unfortunately, that doesn't work. It's a good try, but no.
And this bag it's like a backpack. It's not like a pouch. It's
still a
thing.
pouch. It's still a pouch. It's just a lighter, smaller looking pouch.
Okay. Well, I will take my backpack off and put my junk in it and carry the bag.
Okay.
I have no.
All right. There was also the horn that dropped out. Would you have identified the horn as well?
If it makes its way into my hands.
Okay.
So precise.
This is a horn of blasting. You can use an action to speak the horn's command word and then blow the horn, which emits a thunderous blast in a 30-foot cone that is audible 600 feet away. Each creature in the cone must make a DC 15 con save. On a failed save, a creature takes 5d6 thunder damage and is deafened for 1 minute. On a successful save, a creature takes half as much damage and isn't deafened. Creatures and objects made of glass or crystal have disadvantage on the saving throw and take 10d6 thunder damage instead of 5. Each use of the horn's magic has a 20% chance of causing the horn to explode. The explosion deals 10d6 fire damage to the blower and destroys the horn. So,
Can luck rolls apply to those?
nope.
The 20% chance of it blowing up?
No, because I'll be rolling a d100 and luck only applies to d20s.
I mean, if it's a 20% chance, then really it's just a one
I
random
will be
number.
rolling a d100 instead of a d20. So you could potentially do 60 points of fire damage to yourself, or a very effective, and there's no limit to the amount of times you can use this horn per day.
So what is it, Averine?
I'd say exactly what it is.
Well, that sounds like a great way to kill ourselves and let everyone know that we're here.
Hey, one wrong blow of this horn, and I'm toast.
Tower,
So-
could you, or Shago? Shago, would you like this? It's a magical item. It would give you some magic ability.
As much as I would like to have it, I do not think it appropriate for the DM to have the magical item.
Shago, what's a DM? I'm not sure.
I will explain it to you when you are older.
Oh, okay, thank you.
What's the average of 5d6?
30.
Or
Or,
10d6?
10d6 is 30.
Yeah.
36.
Go on, I'm waiting for the mathematicians, yeah. Alright, okay. I could probably handle that. The knife isn't much use to me anyway, I was going to give that to Zola. The tower is actually going to hand that to Zola. This is more appropriate for your use, I believe.
It's just a dagger? What does it do? Does it do anything?
I tell you everything it does. And by the way, there's a soul in it.
Okay.
But it is better under your protection, I believe, than anyone else's.
Well, this dagger is not any sharper than your saber, is it?
It is a little bit sharp.
Because right now Zola's got a +3 bookmark, and then her magical uncommon saber that's already a +1, right?
Is it? Alright, okay. But there's the chance of getting the additional damage on top of the crit damage. Well, it's going to do more damage overall.
Is there a handout for this?
I did not create it, but I will do so.
Okay.
It's up
I was
to you.
actually looking stuff up when the properties were revealed, so I still don't know what it does.
That's okay. It's a +1 dagger, so it is a magical dagger. On a critical hit, whatever the critical hit is, on a critical hit, it deals an additional 2d6 necrotic damage to the target. And if it kills a creature, there is a chance that the creature's soul is absorbed into the dagger if the dagger's pommel is empty.
I don't know if that's more useful to you or not. It's
Not
not-
at the moment, but maybe thrown or something.
It is not useful for me. I cannot wield it while I have a pause.
I will at least protect the soul that's in the hilt.
If we ever get into melee, it might be a better use of my hand than a short sword, if it has some extra properties.
You want to hang on to it?
Perhaps.
You,
Alright.
you can hold it for the first day.
Ooh.
Change your mind.
I did get something shiny out of this bag.
Better than a bracelet.
Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
If that is all, good night.
Who's taking the horn? Do I want the horn? Am I having the horn tonight?
You're the only person who can survive the horn.
Okay. So, with that, you guys rest. Once again, Averine. Artus visits you this time. He gives you a bit more explanation, description. I've been running. It's been harder to hide. There's a being here. Looks just like me. But dark, shadowy figure. He seems to always know the direction that I've gone. Always behind me. Always looking for me. It's been hard. I haven't been able to rest. I don't even know if I can rest.
What do you see around you, Artis? Do you see any landmarks? Or is it just plain walls? This maze that you're in. Can you
Maybe 10 foot wide, 10 foot tall. Walls go straight to the ceiling. There have been times when the wall has become more of a circle, and I've found myself walking on the ceiling.
Have you tried punching through the ceiling or the floor?
I could try. He begins punching against something. And you, at first, you just hear his explanations, his complaint of pain as he hits his the wall with his hand. But then you start hearing a thud, as if you can hear the thing he's pushing on. Wait a minute. There's a door here. I never seen a door here before. He runs to the door, rushes, grabs the handle. I can't quite open the door. While you're sleeping, while this sound is happening, you now get a clear vision of the door itself. You can see a big red door made of wood with a black handle on your side. You can see the handle jiggling. You can see the door being pulled against its frame. As Artus, or the voice of Artus, is, I'm trying. I can't get it open. You swear you hear him just on the other side of the door.
So I could open the door?
You could potentially open the door?
Artist, before I open the door, which I may or may not do, can you tell me about the monsters that are chasing you?
Well, other than the dark me, there's a big creature, Minotaur probably. Huge horns. That almost got me on one occasion. Then a few smaller creatures. Leopard, panther, lions, tigers, bears. Oh my.
Very well, very well. Thank you for answering this question about the creatures.
Please, Averine. I don't know how much longer I can stay hidden. Help me!
I don't open the door.
Okay. He continues banging on the door and then stops at a point. There is a moment. Artus, it would appear you found a way in? Curious. What are you trying to do, Artus? What are you trying to do? And then you'll wake up in the morning. You'll remove curse on yourself. I understand that.
And I will relate the details of the latest dream.
That sucks.
All right. Let's continue to the wreck of the
Onward to the wreck.
unnamed ship.
Whatever that ship is.
All right. You guys continue moving towards the wreck. Now, at this point, after you leave, let me check how many days worth of travel. All right. It's another 2 days of travel. The next day, Artus, Everine, no dreams. No dream. You guys will continue making your way, working together, using Pijo and everyone's abilities to search. You will come up to the site of the wreck. You can see a wooden vessel. It's caught high up in the tree branches. It's about 90 foot. It's about 50 foot or so above the ground. It's in multiple pieces as it's crashed into the canopy. It resembles a ship, but there are differences that mark it clearly as not a seagoing vessel. The stern is the lowest piece, and I believe, if I know my checking right, the stern is the back, right?
Correct.
Thank you. Good. All right. So the stern is the lowest piece, and it is 50 foot off the ground within the canopy of the trees. The middle section appears to be about what?
Is it right way up, or is it upside down, or is it?
It's right way up, but it's just in 3 torn, broken pieces. The middle piece is 15 foot higher and a little bit off to the side, and then the bow, which is the front.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Oh, yep. Okay.
That's right.
That is another 10 foot above that. Let me move you all to the map of the wreck.
Would Carmen recognise that, like, this is like a particular type of airship, or?
You can tell quite clearly that this airship used a balloon
Yeah.
to keep it airborne.
Okay.
And you would recognize that mechanic. So you may have to zoom out to see the wreck.
It's got black screen.
It's all black.
It's all black. I
There
thought
we
I
go.
got rid of. You needed vision. Let me change that. We don't need dynamic lighting in this screen.
Ooh.
Can we tell that there are people on board from where we are? Or are those unknown to us right now?
Unknown to you right now. In a moment, they're going to call out for your attention. So you guys are coming down on this side, and the closest portion, the back of it, is 50 foot above. It's near you over on this side. Do I have everyone? I believe I have everyone. Yep.
We've got a bird's eye view. Is that what we're looking at?
You've got a bird's eye view right now of the entire place. You can see that the broken portions are still being held together by the way the mast has broken. The rigging has wrapped itself around the trees. You do have a full bird's eye view. Of the 3 different sections. You guys are actually down at the bottom. You're underneath, so you'd be looking up to the bottom side of it. As you do so, a weak voice calls out over the top. Hello? Can you help us?
I'll flap up a little higher to see if I can see people.
The voice appears to come from a human female. She looks wounded. Her leg, in particular, is stuck beneath a wooden beam, and her men that are next to her appear to be trying to shift some wood.
Mm-hmm.
She calls out to you, "Hey, did you get rid of it?"
Get rid of what exactly?
The beasts. They've been hassling us to get our food and stuff.
You're gonna have to be more specific than that. There's a lot of beasts in this jungle.
Large, four-armed, like a Gorallan, maybe.
Well, we haven't seen any of those. I'm going to roll an insight check to see if this seems suspicious or...
Yeah, you can roll an insight check.
Yeah.
You had just witnessed 4 Gorallan zombies not long ago.
Yeah, a few days ago. Yeah. Just to see if she's like, if this is a trick or a trap, if she's like luring us up there.
She's definitely terribly injured. So are all of her men. It's a bad situation. And all of their belongings, everything that was on the ship is actually now on the floor next to you.
Oh. Can I see, am I only able to see those 4 right now from where I am?
No, you can see everyone, which is the 4 on the middle section, the 2 on the back. The 2 on the back are currently unconscious.
Okay.
Or at least they're not moving, as best guess.
Okay. I'm going to call down. There are some people on the boat. They look hurt. I'm going to go see if I can help them. I don't know if anybody else wants to climb the tree and come up, but one of them is stuck. Apparently there's some monsters, but we knew that there were monsters because we're in the jungle and there's monsters everywhere. So I'm going to go at least help this one lady. And
I'm on my way.
I'm going to go help her get out from get whatever has her trapped.
And did you say this stuff is on the jungle floor or it's still up in the... Well, I'm no good at climbing, so be careful. I'll just poke through this, to make use of our time.
Tower's got some healing, he'll go up.
It'll all happen with 0 consequences. Because we've suddenly lost.
Are we missing a DM?
We've lost Aaron.
We've lost it at the moment.
I just realized we're all saying what we're going to do.
You find...
Was that me?
That's amazing that happened, guys. It's brilliant.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that went so well. We destroyed the soulmonger and we kill all the bad guys. Everything
Did
worked.
I drop out again or did something else happen here?
You were there 1 second and then you were just gone. There was no freeze. If I had to guess, I would say that you hung up, but that seems unlikely.
It looked on my end as if I had hung up, but I didn't hang up. And then I tried to get in and it said network error. In fact, my view of the stream says network error. Oh, don't be giving me this. All right. I'm just going to keep going. Let's see. Let's get as far through this as we can. Maybe I am actually having some serious problems. Okay.
What did you last get from us?
The last thing I got from you was you saying that you were going to help her.
Okay. I think they were saying what they were going to do. So
yeah. So Zola, real quick. Zola, you said you were going to climb up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tower said he was going up as well.
Okay. To climb up the trees, it's an easy check. It's an athletics check that you need to make, but it is fairly easy to do.
I suppose I'll keep watch on the ground.
And Grigori's not much of a climber. My skills would best be used going through this gear down here.
Fair enough.
Carmen's going to be nosy down on the ground and then she'll eventually go up, but she's going to look around for stuff first.
Fair enough. Zola, you and everyone else that tries does make it up the trees, and 11 was enough. You make it up and you can climb up to the bow Tower went with, right?
Mhm.
Not the bow, the stern, which is the back. You can get up there. Quick glance. These guys are alive still. They are unconscious, but they're not dying. At best bet, they seem to be stable but unconscious. What is everyone else doing? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, everyone else first.
What is everyone else doing?
Looking for magical items. Or just gear.
Lou.
Okay.
I'm going to cast a healing
Investigation
spirit
checks.
to go through everybody, since there's a lot of injured people, so they can start getting some heals back. I don't know if it'll get all of them each amount of time, since it can only travel, I think, 30 feet per round. But-
So the way it works is obviously a creature must start its turn in the area, or they must move into it.
Oh, I can't move it into
You
them.
can't move
Okay,
it
then never
through
mind.
them.
Okay, then I won't do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Problem.
I can grab bodies potentially and
Shock them.
pull them through.
All right. So looking through the supplies, this does obviously look like they were a cargo ship that was transporting goods and supplies somewhere. The supplies appear to be, or at least the crates, definitely don't appear to be of Chultan form. The wood doesn't seem like it was prepared for the Chultan climate very well, as the wood is falling apart. The hinges are breaking. You can see quite clearly that, and we should have some, there we go, that all of the equipment in here is quite a lot of adventuring gear. And there is a name on the box that you particularly look through. Flaming Fist.
Great.
So, you have met some Flaming Fist individuals.
Mm-hmm.
And so these boxes appear to be intended for them. Shargo is up in the trees, helping during all of this. In amongst all of the items in there, you guys will see that it is filled with everything within, just to make this simpler, it is
Mundane gear.
everything within the Chapter 5, it is Chapter 5, yeah, Chapter 5 equipment tables that is worth less, 200 gold or less. And if the item is worth less than 200 gold, then there are enough of that item to total up to 200 gold. For example, hide armor is 10 gold, so there are 20 pieces of hide armor. Okay. Same thing with the weapons, but weapons limit out to 25 gold pieces, nothing higher than 25. And the adventuring gear is anything up to, again, 25 gold pieces.
Okay, good to know.
Okay. So lots of basic equipment and supplies here that were intended for, as from what you can guess, for Liara Portier's people.
I mean, in a way, aren't we Liara Portier's people? I mean, she'd want us to have this.
So, Pijo, you are using healing. You can use the healing to benefit those 4 individuals in front of you. They do all have 4 levels of exhaustion right now.
Oh.
And as such, they are slow. They're in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
They can barely manage to make it through, but they do get through.
Could I maybe, well, because I know I want to help that lady out because she's stuck under something. But would I be able to use, and I'm not proficient in it at all, but is there any way to use like medicine or something to help ease the exhaustion from the 4 levels? Or does that not work like
The
that?
only way to get rid of exhaustion is through sleeping or greater restoration.
Okay. Then I'll just try to get her out of the being stuck.
Specifically to remind folks, 4 levels of exhaustion is disadvantage on ability checks, speed is halved, disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws, and hit point maximum is halved.
Ugh.
Is there any food or water down below?
There is a lot of food and water. It's not in the same sort of crates that the supplies for the supply drop was in. However, a lot of it has broken over the floor. The water has pretty much gone. There's no more water because it's soaking into the ground. And the food does appear to be recently eaten.
Right. Like
Jesus.
vegetarian food that's not meat or salted beef or anything, like not sort of like anything that was like sustenance that was like kind of
You see a lot of stuff ranging from breads, cheeses, meats, to even some sweets.
Yeah. Okay. So these two on the ones me and Shah go on, are they injured or you know, are they just exhausted?
4 levels of exhaustion, unconscious, but not dying.
Okay.
So they need waking up, and if they were to be woken up, they would be awake and fine.
But no physical injury. Okay. I will call it down. We need some food and water down up here, and but I'll take from my water skin and attempt to sort of wet the lips of. And if she's really exhausted, it's not good to feed her too much water at once. So just wet the lips and just dribble a little bit, see if I can wake that particular lady up. I assume
Shargo will do the same thing for the other one. They'll wake up. In the meantime, while you're doing that, and while Zola and Pijo are helping out the captain and her immediate crew, Averine, Grigori, and Carmen, what are you guys doing?
I'm keeping watch.
I mean, going through that many crates, I presume it takes a little while to identify that they've got all that. So that'll be a good probably half hour digging through gear while they take care of that crew.
Okay. So perception check if you're keeping watch.
Can I make a perception check on their actual wreck to see if it's it seems like it's stable or if it's going to come down on us or something's loose or anything?
Roll a perception. Would you like your familiar, Averine? Sorry.
I do have an interest in knowing the hierarchy of the Flaming Fist group.
Ooh.
So if I find if while everyone is digging through stuff, I'll call out. If I find any paperwork, like a manifest or anything like that, I'd like to know where it was coming from and who sent it. Specifically, I want to know who Portier's supervisor is.
Okay. So the investigation checks that were made. Did you roll an investigation to look through yourself, or is it just Carmen and Grigori?
Well, if I can keep watch while investigating, then I'll do both. But primarily, I was keeping watch.
Well, if I find something, I'll let you know. But you could also just yell up top. If the captain is still alive or crew, they might just be able to tell you where they're coming from.
Because Grigori finds manifest, but that's up to Grigori whether or not he tells people.
What's on the manifest? Is it just what we described?
Orders that this stuff, these belongings, were to be requisitioned and acquired from Baldur's Gate and delivered quietly to Jahaka Anchorage.
Is that all on one page, or is there like a page that's just a manifest?
It's a couple pages. One is just the equipment, the items that are listed in here. The final page is instructions, destroy manifest once complete.
Yeah, I'll give that to Averine. It's fine.
Yeah.
There's nothing on the manifest that's like one magical helmet or anything. It's just mundane gear.
Yeah, just mundane gear and supplies.
Here you are, Averine. This may be of use to you.
Thank you, Grigori.
Unfortunately,
Look at
there's
that.
no
A
sort
pleasant
of
civil
indication
exchange.
on who is Liara Porte's superior, only that she put in an order, and according to her command, these items were to be delivered.
Got it.
There is details of the location of a Dropbox spot 2 miles out of Jahaka Anchorage, where the items were to be delivered and then left. Okay. So, during all of this, while everyone is moving around, those that are helping crew are a little preoccupied with the helping of the crew and the healing of them, such that your passive perceptions will have to do. Let me roll a stealth check for these things. Okay. All right. While you are not surprised, you do spot a certain four-armed heavy creature jump out and swing from a tree branch as it lands on the front bow. Not quite just a Gorallan, it is a Gorallan zombie. And unfortunately, he's not alone. I'd like everyone to roll initiative.
Uh-oh.
Interesting. 15 beans, we don't.
All right. Is anyone missing from the turn order? Unless help, like these guys can't move of their own accord, the weak people. So if you want them to get out, you need to do it yourself. Ooh.
Oh, this music is very intense.
Turn it down if it's too loud for you.
No, I like it. Like it's intense in a good way.
Good. All right. So, top of the round. I need to roll for Shargo, don't I? Yep. All right. Top of the round. Zola. You see the Gorallan zombie jump out onto the platform. It's ready to attack. What are you going to do?
I think it would be best not to engage them alone. So I think I'm actually going to run over to the captain, give a nod to Piju to see if he's okay. He's going to be okay. And I'm going to grab the captain and I'm going to use Bookmark to Dimension Door back to Tower and Shago.
Okay, so you're staying up above, and the two of you pop over. Okay. Carmen, I'm being told... Oh, you rolled initiative but weren't added to the turn order for some
Oh,
reason.
sorry.
That's okay.
I was pretty low. I only got 14.
Right. Thank you, Averine. I didn't want to miss anyone out, so 14. Cool.
Now,
Right.
as we're going forward, so those of us who are on the ground, are we over in this corner, or were we more
You're
underneath?
in that position.
Okay.
Yep.
So that's where the goods would have been that we were searching
Yeah.
through? That's great.
Okay. So, anything else from you, Zola? After you draw.
Can you pull the captain back to where I'm at? I didn't get to place myself there.
Ah, yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Anything else?
That'll be it.
All right, then we move to Pijo.
All right. Well, I'm gonna mark this one as my hunter's mark, as my quarry. Just kind of make a point at it. Draw
It's
out
casting
my
the
bow.
spell specifically.
Yes,
Right?
casting the
Yeah,
spell
okay.
at it. And I'm gonna let two. Well, I'm gonna let one fly and see how that goes, and then potentially attack it again.
Okay.
So longbow.
All right, the 15 is going to hit for 6 points of piercing damage.
And we'll add my hunter's mark,
All right.
and then I'll attack it again.
14 is also going to hit for another 10.
So hunter's mark and Colossus Slayer.
Okay. Anything else from you?
I'm going to. Let's see. I want. How far is it from me? All right. I'm going to. I'm just going to get up in the air a bit. 40 feet.
Okay. 40
'cause
foot
it-
straight up. Now, from your position,
Oh, yeah. I
The
guess it's probably.
top of the ship is also
Yeah.
10 foot above you. So if you're going
Okay.
40 foot, you're 30 foot in elevation from the top of the ship.
Okay. Well, then actually, I guess if I was going to be attacking that one, I would have had to get that high probably to aim it. So I'll just keep 40 feet up, and
Okay.
have done that before I shot, so that I would have actually been able to aim at this guy.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool.
Grigori.
I believe if I aim for this square right below the middle guy, it's within 20 feet of all of them. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna fireball that sucker.
Okay. So dexterity saves from all three of the zombies. I have a 15, a 17, and a 13.
17 makes it.
Okay,
So
the
that's
rest
22
don't.
damage. Actually, I'm gonna do empowered spell, and I'm gonna re-roll. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna re-roll the 1s, the 2s, and one of the 3s. So I'm gonna re-roll 5 of the d6s on that damage. So that is 19 plus 4 plus 5 plus 3. 9, 12, 31 is the new damage.
Okay. Okay. All right. So how much was the new one? Sorry.
31.
Just up 31. Okay. So the creature that that Pijo has been hitting, he's saved. So 15 points of damage. The one in the middle failed. Took 31, as did the one at the bottom. Okay. Anything else from you, Grigori?
I'm going to move just back a little bit, but otherwise I'm done.
Okay. Then Carmen, what would you like to do?
Sadly, I can't do a lot from where I am, so all I can do on this turn is if I move forward to here, which is my maximum movement, and then can I just prepare an action? So if they come within my range of 60 feet, then I can do something.
What is the action you're going to prepare to do?
I would prepare to do shatter. Yeah, I'll do shatter.
Okay, so you cast Shatter now, and
Yeah.
then you hold it until a creature comes within your range.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah,
Alright.
that's cool.
So you're holding concentration on that.
Yeah.
Right. Anything else from you, Carmen?
No, that's it.
Right. Tower.
Sorry, DM.
Oh no.
Conjure animals.
What animals would you like to conjure?
4 apes.
4 apes. Okay. Well, Roll20 has been moving a little bit quicker for me lately, so I don't feel as bad. Okay. So the 4 apes are in. Do we have a? Let me get their sheet for you.
I'm going to try and put them in the middle part of the ship. Situate them in that location.
Okay. You're using your account right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you should now see the
Crazy
ape
ape.
sheet.
Oh my lord.
Crazy ape.
Looks like that film.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool. So you should have full control over the apes. Go ahead and reposition them wherever you would summon them.
Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to just try and put them in it. So plug them in around this slot. So they got in a point, so I'm just stick them all over that and then give them to roll them in.
Okay.
Initiative 4. So let's do them turn on that. Cool.
All right.
Is it possible for Tower to possibly grab and drag that body? Is that going to be a flat?
You need to grapple to be able to grab, and grappling is an action.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's part of an attack, so right.
Yeah.
Then we move to Averine.
And so my firebolt has a range of 120 feet. Are these guys...
Because of the way diagonals work in 5th edition, like straight on 120 feet and diagonally to your right is 120 feet. It goes without saying then that 120 feet diagonally works exactly the same way.
Okie doke. Then I will firebolt that Joker that is pretty close, or the closest to us at the bottom.
Okay. That hits for 17 points of fire damage. All right. Anything else from you?
That's it.
All right. Then we have a Growling Zombie. That one in particular, it is going to use a bonus action to move up to its speed, which is 30 foot. Around using the trees, moves 30 foot to there.
Oh, in range.
Within range, go ahead and cast your Shatter.
Oh, I'd already done that.
Yeah.
Hold on.
So DC 15, would you like to re-roll the 3d8?
Yeah.
Take the 14.
Yeah, 14.
I'll take the 14. No, I'll take the 14.
Okay. Right. It succeeds on the saving throw.
Okay.
So it takes half damage, I believe. Yep. Half damage at 7 points of damage. Right. It will then use its action to... No, it'll use its movement to move up to here. And then action to dash onto the boat. Shago runs over and he's going to stab it. Shield bash is going to miss. Stab will hit for 12 points piercing damage. Now that 12 points of damage would take this zombie down to 0 hit points. However, Undead Fortitude, which it saves, so the zombie instead goes to 1. Second stab, natural 1 is going to miss. All right, your apes.
Okay, I'm gonna go. What's the distance here? Right, so I'm gonna have form like a barricade. I'm gonna have 2 of them go here. Now I've got. Do you know what? I'm gonna just have them form like a perimeter. And spread them out a bit, and they're all going to prepare. They're all going to hold an action to do their multi-attack.
Okay. They can't do that. They ready an action to make an attack.
Well, isn't their attack a multi-attack? So
it's exactly the same as your extra attack feature.
Yeah, so it's my action. So yeah, I'm readying an action for a multi-attack.
But even when you do it, you use the ready action. You don't use the attack action. As a result, when you ready, you only get to make one attack as your reaction.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
That is how. So they're only going to get one action, one attack, if they ready.
That makes sense.
Okay, all right. Well, if that's the case, then I'm not going to hold the action. I'm going to throw a rock. But we haven't got a rock, so I'm going to rip off some wood and I'm going to throw the wood.
Okay. There's enough rubble with the boat, with the tree. There's more than enough debris here that they can throw it.
Okay, so we'll throw at that first one.
The hunter's marked one. Okay. Unfortunately, the 7 is going to miss.
Okay, second one. No, that was the wrong one. That was the wrong one. The same thing. So, what is it?
I see multi-attack. There we go.
Yeah. 20.
So 20 is going to hit for 8 points of bludgeoning damage as the wood breaks on the flesh of the zombie.
Okay, let's concentrate fire here. So I'll do all of them on the same zombie.
Okay.
No.
That will also hit for another 6 points of bludgeoning damage. The Gorallan zombie is now heavily weakened.
And the last one. No.
That should be enough to drop it.
Can I use a portent?
Yes, you can use a portent. Which
Okay.
portent would you like to use?
I have a 7. Can I use a 7?
You can. So with that, it means the Gorallan zombie fails the save to fortitude itself back up and dies. Anything else from the apes?
That's the one position.
Okay. All right. Well, we have another Gorallan zombie. It is going to use its bonus action to move towards a hostile creature. It'll move towards one of the apes. And then it'll use its action to attack it. The zombie makes 5 attacks. So I have a 25 to hit with a bite attack.
Yeah, it hits.
Okay, that's 7 points of piercing damage. Then it's going to claw, because it's got 4 arms and then its mouth, you see.
Yeah.
Another 25 to hit with the claw.
Yeah.
So that's 7 points of slashing.
Yeah.
And then a 12 to hit.
That's the DC.
For another 5 points of slashing.
That's exactly what you needed. That was down.
Okay. So, let me... Okay. Then he's going to move a little bit and finish off with the last 2 attacks against the other ape. That is 20 to hit.
Yeah.
For 6 points of slashing.
Yeah.
And then a 19 to hit.
Yeah.
For 7 slashing.
Cool.
Top of the round. Those on the floor notice the ground begin to shift.
Oh.
These Gorallan zombies in the trees aren't the only things you now need to worry about.
Oh, what? Oh no, ghouls.
8 ghouls. Coming in 2 packs. And I will treat them as packs. for the sake of making things easier. This. Okay, so top of the round, Zola.
Running up to here, and I'm gonna do a neat little blade NATO.
Okay. An 11 will hit it. It needs to roll a con save to see if it stays alive. It succeeds.
Okay. I'm gonna keep dumping damage on it.
Oh, actually, so the damage, okay, including the sneak attack, meant that it failed.
Okay.
The DC of the fortitude depends on the amount of damage that's dealt.
Okay.
Okay, so that Growlin zombie dies.
Great. And then I suppose I will. Can I steal my weapons?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be pulling out a short bow next round.
Okay, fair enough. Bijo.
How far down are the ghouls?
From your current position, they are 65 foot down, but then you went up 40 foot, so they're 105 foot below you.
Mostly I'm just making sure, trying to figure out if I can, how long it'll be before they get up to us, but it sounds like we have a little bit of time. So I'm going to switch my mark to the one Growlin left standing, so that'll be my bonus action, and I'm just going to let fly. Well, I'm going to let it fly one arrow and see what happens, and decide what to do with the other one after that. All right. Well, I'm going to let fly another arrow.
I didn't know. Natural one. Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
That hits.
Great. So Hunter's Mark, Colossus Slayer.
Okay, so total damage is 19. I don't even think... Well, no, it's not dead yet, so... Okay. That was your second attack. Anything else?
I'm going to... Let's see. I'm going to fly... So from my current position, I'm going to move over. I want to grab it. Why? There we go. I'm just going to fly over 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So I'm kind of getting away from there to maybe draw some attention my way instead of towards these guys.
Okay. Right, then at the end of your turn, it is the red ghoul pack. They will move and then dash. But they won't dash in such a nice formation. So they get to move 60 foot in total. Okay. Grigori.
Yeah, it's just going to have to be what it is. I'm going to drop Fireball on the nice tight group of guys in the back.
Okay.
And I'm going to use a sorcery point to re-roll 2 of those damage.
What if you twin it?
You cannot twin that.
Can't twin it.
Unfortunately, we had this conversation before.
Okay.
That just bumps it up 3 points. 3 points. So it's 35.
35.
That's the new total. Yep.
Okay. Half of them succeeded, half of them didn't. So those that succeeded take half at 17 points of fire damage. Those that failed died.
Yeah, you can't twin group or area of effects. It has to be just you shoot one person.
Single target.
Yeah. Anything
else from you, Grigori?
I am going to move 30 feet. Nope. You know what? I'll stay right where I am. That's fine.
Okay. Carmen.
Okay. I'm going to use Shatter again. But I'm going to pop it. Oh, hello. I'm going to pop it in between those two.
Okay. All right. To get these two, you're not going to be able to get anyone else, right?
Yeah, I don't think it has got a big enough range. I don't think anyway.
No, it doesn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So go ahead and roll that. They will roll their con saves. I have 1 success, 1 failure. The one that succeeded takes 7 points of damage. The one that failed takes 15. Okay. Anything else from you, Carmen?
No, that'll be it.
Okay. Tower.
Yes. I'm going to run to here and I'm going to throw a javelin.
Okay.
I have them, but I have them in my inventory on D&D Beyond, but I don't have them in my thingy inventory. It doesn't help.
I believe you, but they are at disadvantage. Okay.
Yeah, they're between 30 and
There you go. You go down the
20. Yeah, so it's a disadvantage. Yeah, 60 feet. No, so it's 30 to 120. So can I get close to? I can get to about here. Can I throw it to that?
That would be you climbing onto a tarp. Do you
Slide.
do that?
I don't know. Can I do that?
You can certainly slide onto it. Yeah?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Unfortunately, it's torn badly, and as you slide onto it, it tears underneath you, and you fall down.
Can I wild shape when I fall?
You can't wild shape while falling. Well, no, you can. You can. So, bonus action, what are you going to wild shape into?
Something squishy. Brown bear.
Okay, so you shift into your brown bear form. You fall 50 foot, so 18 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit the ground. Okay. But hey, no disadvantage on the javelin throw now.
I can't throw as a bear.
There you go.
I need to make a con save.
Yeah, for the apes. DC is only 10, so.
I'm now a bear. Where's my bear thing?
Find your bear. There you go.
Constitution's aim to throw at bear. Which one's fire? Which one's fire? Because I get to choose.
Your bear's higher.
Bear's higher. Okay. Did I say I can't see? No.
An 8, that's going to fail. The apes disappear.
What a great turn.
Well, that's not good.
Okay. Anything else from your tower? All right. Averine.
Averine will take a 5-foot step to get closer to that other Gorlon, and then cast Firebolt.
That's going to hit for 5 points of fire damage. It's heavily weakened, still alive.
Damn it. That's it.
Okay. Well, we have the blue ghouls. They will do the same thing as their companions did, which is just move 60 foot forward. Shago. Are you okay down there? He is going to run to here and jump. hoping he can grab hold of this point. See how he does.
Hearing the tower fell and is still alive, he's thinking, yeah, I can do that. If I fall, I'll still live.
So he'll finish up. He will dash up to here. He's still up in the tree. He's not down on the floor. All right, we have a Gorallan zombie, which is going to use a bonus action to move here. First attack will be a bite against one of the men. That will remove the head of that man.
R.I.P. dudes.
Claw attack against another one will crush his body. Second attack will also do the same. He then is going to move. Yeah. Where he will claw attack Shago. Natural one is going to miss, but a 19 would hit. I believe Shago can parry that, though, as his reaction. Yes, he will. He parries that, and that misses. Zola.
I will hop over to this point on the edge, and I'm hoping that I can use this fabric to hide against.
You can... The ship, the way that it's formed, yeah, you've got some cover.
Okay. So I will do that. I will hide, and then I will whip out the short bow and fire.
Okay. You have an advantage on the attack.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, roll a stealth check first.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah. Now you have advantage on the attack.
Okay.
18 is going to hit 6 points of piercing damage, plus the 8. That puts it at 14. Is there anything else you'll be adding to that?
I don't think I can. Nope.
Okay. Then with that, the Gorallan zombie body falls to the floor. Well done. Anything else from you, Zola?
No, sir.
Okay. Pachow.
All right, I'm going to drop my concentration on my Hunter's Mark, and I'm instead going to cast Hail of Thorns on myself. I'm going to cast it at 2nd level. So it will be an extra 2d10 damage instead of 1d10 when or if I hit. Well, when I hit, if it's within a minute. And I'm going to target, with my first attack, this blue dude that's right diagonally down from the red one. I'm trying to get the ping on it, but yeah.
Yep. So go ahead and fire at him.
Yeah. Oh my god, these natural ones. Yeah, well, I'm going to shoot at him again.
18 is going to hit. 9 points of piercing damage will in fact kill that first ghoul.
Great.
And then the Hail of Thorns explodes into a mass of thorns, which will catch the red ghoul. It needs to roll a dex save, correct?
I believe so. And my DC is 14.
DC 14, okay.
And if it fails, it takes 2d10 damage.
It succeeds, so it still takes half damage. So go ahead and roll 2d10.
Yeah.
$12, so cut down to 6 points of damage. All right, anything else from you, Piju?
No. He's just very distraught now because those guys died because he left. Because he thought they would be protected. And he feels personally responsible for that.
Red ghouls, one is going to edge closer and closer to Carmen, but doesn't get close enough, so it will dash right up to her. Another one will do the same thing, dash up to that position. One of the red ones will approach the bear and will attack the bear with a claw attack. That is going to be a 12 to hit. Does that hit the bear?
Oh.
I think it misses.
That misses.
Is that a miss?
Okay, so that misses.
Where's your bag on?
Now I'm
That
past
misses.
13.
13. Okay, cool. All right, then we move to Grigori.
These are ghouls?
These are ghouls.
All right, I am going to Sacred Flame the one next to Carmen, and I'm going to twin that one to hit the other one next to Carmen.
Okay, so dexterity saves from both of them.
That's right. Do you want me to roll a second damage for the second ghoul?
It's up to you if you wish. They both fail.
I'll roll a second damage just to keep it. Oh, it's exactly the same. There you go.
Same.
The universe wants it to be.
And it was enough. Both bursts of radiant light erupt around the ghoul. Both of them around Carmen fall instantly. Anything else from you, Grigori?
He wants to yell something pithy, but I can't think of anything great at the moment. Something like not all divine magic is good. I don't know. Nope, he stays quiet. I'm done. Thank you.
How about that for a sweet burn?
Yeah.
No, not that kind of.
All right, Carmen.
Carmen was about to pull out her sword, and she's like, "Oh, thank you, thanks." So she's got no one to
You're
slash her.
welcome.
Thank you. So in that case, she is going to. We've only got 2 left.
There are 3.
Oh, 3 left. Okay, so I will move.
And the blue one is hurt.
Whoop.
Mm-hmm.
Blue one is hurt. Oh, I did not mean to move there. Sorry. Apologies, my laptop's being a pain. It's right here. And cast. I'm going to just have to use Shatter again, I'm afraid. Sorry. It's my last go on Shatter.
He rolls a 16.
Well, yeah, but I was hoping to.
But even with a success, the ghoul still dies.
Cool.
All right. Anything else from you, Carmen?
I'll give inspiration to Shargo. And
Okay.
be like, you can do it!
All right. Tower. There is a ghoul in front of you, and then a ghoul just 20 foot away from that one at the base of the tree. What would you like to do?
Tower's going to rage. He's pissed at himself more than anything else. Do I need to roll the d20? Sure. We'll make it. This is the time.
Yeah, why not?
1.
You're good. You're good.
Right.
All right.
I'm going to attack that one in front.
Unfortunately, the 12 is going to miss.
You're fucking kidding me.
Language.
And then a natural 1. Yeah. Okay.
You're raging
Alright.
on this.
I'll firebolt the pillar. He's trying to attack tower.
That'll hit for 2 points of fire damage. He's now a little singed.
Toasted ghoul. Probably a nice smell.
And I will finish my turn. Looking disappointed at my wand like it's broken.
Shargo. He's thinking.
Don't do it, Shago!
He is going to climb down the tree slowly, but will dash. That'll get him halfway down. So he'll get halfway down the tree. Safely climbing down. All right, Zola.
All right, I'm gonna try something weird.
Do it.
You know how there are these ropes?
Yep.
Okay. So,
Oh, swashbuckling time!
yep, as much as I can. We'll see how this goes.
She's gonna swash some buckles or die.
Did I already say that I stowed my bow? No.
No, but that's fine.
Okay. So what I want to do is I gotta have one hand free, so I'll take out my cutlass, and
Okay.
I'm gonna grab one of these ropes and chop it, and then come swinging down with the intent to boot to the face this zombie that's next to tower, using my momentum as damage.
All right. You run, you pull out the blade, you slash, and then you swing. Unfortunately, in a similar case to Tower, the way in which you slashed it and the rope that you grabbed, there was nothing else anchoring that rope to the tree line and to this. So very quickly, as you're falling, you do drop down next to.
That's okay, as long as I hit the zombo.
You'll hit the ground right next to a tower.
Can I make an acrobatics check for that or anything?
Try and land on your feet.
I was gonna see if I could still try to hit the zombo.
In terms of movement, you've still got the movement to be able to get to it. Yeah, well, let's see if you land at least on. Go ahead and roll the acrobatics check. There is a chance. You unfortunately don't have the dexterity or anything enough to pull. You will hit the ground next to it, but not on it.
Okay.
You can still take your action, though.
Oh, okay. I will do that.
Okay.
Ooh.
And you did. Wait, sorry. You did fall 5d6 as well. So you take 12 points of bludgeoning damage from the fall.
That's fine.
And then you crit against this thing. So go ahead and roll the sneak attack again.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
With that, that is a dead ghoul.
Ah.
Anything else from Zola?
No, I'll just stay there.
Bijo.
All right. Has this ghoul been attacked at all yet, or hurt at all yet? All right. Well, I'm gonna mark it. I'm gonna come down 50 feet, so that would put me, I think, 40 feet above the ground at this point.
Yep.
So I'm gonna come down
close to, yeah.
ish. Yeah. I'm gonna mark it, and I'm gonna shoot.
Unfortunately, 16 is gonna miss.
16. Oh my goodness. What is with these dudes? Well, I'm gonna shoot again. There we
27
go.
hits. 7
Perfect.
points of piercing damage.
Plus 6.
Okay. Then it is that ghoul's turn. It is going to move up to attack Zola.
It'll hit.
Claw
I'm just going to
attack.
call it now.
Oh, you never know. Does a 16 hit you?
Yes, it does. I'm going to uncanny dodge that, though.
Okay. So you take 4 points of slashing, halved down to 2, and I need you to roll a con save.
Is this magical in nature at all?
No.
All right. I think, knowing what I know about things with the undeads, I guess I'll use my inspiration to re-roll that.
So you're cashing in the inspiration card. Do you want to play that to the table so we can see what it does and what you're doing with it?
Mhm.
I can fly in my room. That's what I get for having the window open.
Oh, she's
With the light
adorable, though.
Nope. All right. Fickle favor. So choose one, immediately re-roll a d20 you just rolled, or immediately re-roll a d20 another creature just rolled. So you're immediately re-rolling your d20.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll a new con save.
Oh, so much better. Oh.
19. You
Oh.
succeed. No ill effects from the attack. Grigori.
So many things.
Jeremy.
Grigori is going to cast haste on himself.
Okay.
Gain additional action. Attack. I then can move twice my speed.
Correct.
Okay, let me read this quickly.
Your AC increases by 2. You have advantage on dex saves, and you get an extra action each of your turns.
That doesn't actually do anything for me, unfortunately.
No.
All right, I will just cast.
What are you considering to cast?
Sacred Flame cantrip.
Okay. Sacred Flame is an action to cast?
Yes.
Yeah. You use your action to cast haste.
Right, but I can use
that
my haste
action can
attack
be
again.
used only to take the attack, one weapon attack only. Dash, disengage, hide, or use an object action.
Then
So unfortunately,
I am just gonna run at this guy and then stab him with my dagger.
okay.
It's the dumbest thing.
Grigori's being very uncharacteristically bold.
Well, he stayed away from everybody until they started messing with Zola. So, actually, can I use my pitchfork? He carried, but I never really used.
Go ahead.
10.
That's going to miss.
Yeah.
Carmen. There's only one ghoul left.
There is, but there's not a lot Carmen can do about it, to be fair. She can't get close enough to him to hit him with her sword. She's run out of attack spells. So, I think I'll just hold an action. I'll just
Perhaps if you have any bardic inspiration left, you could
Yeah.
inspire Tower, who's going to go next,
yeah,
to help him.
Yeah. Feel inspired. I will inspire you. Ta-da!
Okay.
Back to you.
Tower, you feel inspired. What would you like to do?
Tower does, Ty doesn't.
Come on. Suck it up, deal with it.
I'm just gonna go around the other side.
Oh,
2 attacks.
Okay. So 21 to hit. You don't need to use the inspiration for that. Go ahead and roll the damage. Okay, 5 points of piercing damage. That heavily weakens. You've got one more attack, right?
come on, come on,
Yeah.
come on. There we go.
That'll hit.
There you go.
There we go.
And how does that finish us off, Tower?
It's just gonna do the split thing from the waist, just shut the 2 parts away.
So your bite attack comes in for the neck. You grab hold of it. Then your right paw just grabs onto the feet, just tears it into right in the middle. Blood flailing everywhere as ghoul carcass is just thrown around.
For my own
Weird.
satisfaction.
Yep.
Tertiation. Just so I remember.
With that, with the glory of battle finished, and you guys having saved some of the people from the wreck, we're going to end our session there. And we will continue next week here at the wreck of the Star Goddess, where the party maybe get to know the crew a little bit better, or what remains of the crew a little bit better, deal with Pijo's failure, amongst other things. So join us next week as we continue with this adventure. Follow us on Twitter. We are at Crituitous RP. Follow us on our Tumblr. That is crituitousrp.tumblr.com, where you can read along with out-of-game, in-character chat a week later than when it's finished. or you can follow us and support us through our Patreon at patreon.com/Teovanth, where not only could you be able to read along with the chat as it happens, but also come in and play a dungeon delve with us every now and then, when we charge through some of the best dungeons in the D&D history. So thank you very much, folks. We really appreciate all of your support and your help. Tell all your friends about us if you like us, and if you don't, why don't you like us? Let us know, and we'll always try to get better. So until next time, folks, good night.